Hello, this is the 66th episode of the Funfiltered podcast. I'm Jordan, hi, and that's Sam, hi, and this is what's coming up on today's episode. We review She Said.
We review Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
We review The Menu.
We review Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery.
And we deliver our top 10 things of 2022.
Was very efficient of you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Usually you play the mind game, don't you? Which is, oh, no, is it me? I don't know. You should probably check.
What?
In terms of introductions.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't know. And then you do really know, and you've prepared something.
Oh, to you now?
To me. Yeah, no,
Yes.
not to the audience.
No, yeah.
Yeah. It's behind the scenes. You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. You?
I'm okay.
Okay. We're recording this later than planned.
Oh, yeah. And I was going to say, time-wise, we're about right, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, several weeks.
Yes.
Multiple weeks later than planned.
But I think we said we come back in January, and we will still be back in January.
Well, we'll see.
I promise you, listeners, if you listen to this the day it comes out, you'll be listening in January. I will make sure that I work really hard to make
sure that I work really hard to make that happen. Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Let's jump straight into it.
Yeah.
The first film we're going to review is She Said.
Okay.
You've watched this, yeah?
I have watched this.
Should have clarified all this before we did it.
Yeah.
What did you think of She Said?
Oh, I see. Okay.
No, tell you what, I'll do the premise.
Yeah, go on.
The premise is, God, this is later than we planned. I've forgotten everything about all of these films. No, it's about the Me Too movement and the journalists that kind of wrote the initial articles exposing all these predators.
Yeah.
And giving voice to I can't even say it sincerely. That's the thing.
But that is what the film's doing.
I know. And giving voice to the victims of your Harvey Weinsteins and whatnot. They work for the New York Times, and it's about two crusading female journalists.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
So what did you think of it?
I thought that it was relatively well put together. I stress relatively.
Yeah.
The performances are fine. They're all completely solid. It's fairly well paced. It's marginally engaging. It's very much in the vein of Spotlight and All the President's Men.
Well, I mean, that is what it's up against, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just not as good as either of those.
No, it doesn't help that it's up against that.
It doesn't.
If you were going to compare it to films that came before, by virtue of it being a similar thing structurally, you'd go with...
I mean, All the President's Men is the go-to journalism crusading story, but I think Spotlight is a more apposite comparison for this film. Obviously, it's more in the recent past.
Yeah.
And All the President's Men is, even though there was a conspiracy, it's about a very specific event with a select group of people, whereas both Spotlight and this are about institutions.
Yeah.
And the rot of institutions. Yeah, it's not as good as either of those. The camera is quiet and well-behaved. So The Post would be the other recent journalism story that springs to mind. And this Post is good, but the Spielbergian cinematography of that, I guess it's Kaminsky, I'm not sure, was a confounding imposition.
Okay.
This is much more Spotlight in visual tone.
Yeah.
And rightly so. So it begins, its prologue deals with Trump. And... explain that. What was the Trump thing? Explain the Trump thing.
You're the one who's bringing up the point.
Well, I don't want to just keep talking because I'll go on forever.
Okay.
So why don't you explain the Trump thing?
Well, the film seems to go, Trump's a bastard. Anyway, here's the film.
Yeah.
Because there's this whole prologue where, Donald Trump, someone makes an accusation about Donald Trump's inappropriate behaviour.
Yes.
Something he said or something he did. I can't quite remember.
All of the above.
All of the above.
Yeah.
And one of the journalists, is it?
It's Carey Mulligan.
Carey Mulligan, yeah. She phones up Trump. Or Trump phones up her.
Trump phones her, yeah.
She's like, care to comment? And he's like, I did not say those things. Like, a really good...
I should note to the audience, Jordan is doing the it's A-OK.
Yeah, you got to do the hands. You got to do the hands. Yeah, a fairly good Trump impersonator.
It was spot on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Spot on,
but yeah, he was basically saying, like, no, it's all bullshit, basically.
Yeah.
And nothing...
You fucking bitch.
Yeah, yeah, I hate you.
Yeah,
nothing will become of this. And nothing did.
Yes.
And then the film kind of, like, moves on a little bit.
And that is the cataclysm, the Big Bang that provides the context in which the following story is set.
Yes.
Which is, she tried to take down a powerful male baddie and didn't happen because we suck. And so now she's become jaded and is a little bit apprehensive about pursuing the next similar story. Yeah, the Trump thing, and I'm not defending Trump, was completely unnecessary. It wasn't required for contextualization. It just felt like the film trying to hook you with your presumed, and I'm sure for most audiences, accurately presumed, Trump hate, and trying to be encyclopedic. It's like he was trying to be the definitive Me Too film.
Yeah.
You know, we'll do Trump, we'll do Weinstein, we'll do every fucking rapist. I don't know if Donald Trump, that legally.
Oh, right, yeah, disclaimer.
Weinstein, it's pretty cut and dry. Yeah, this is supposed to be the Me Too movie. And I resented it for that. Right. I don't really, not like there was the Me Too movie. I resented that it was trying to be the Me Too movie. I don't really have philosophical or ideological problems with the film, but I find the subject matter very delicate.
Yeah.
And not delicate in that you have to be very sensitive about it, though that's true as well. In that it can become irritating very quickly, or inaccurate, or kind of strident really quickly, and easily elaborated upon. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
It just feels too recent, more than anything for me. Did you have that same feeling?
Well, I was thinking, like, could the same argument have been made for Spotlight?
Well, there was like 15 years there.
Okay.
So it's a little bit longer. I know what you mean. Yeah. Well, okay. So it's not in the sense that more historical context is required. Like, I'm pretty sure we have all the facts, the important facts about a lot of this stuff. But Trump is still very much a dominant part of the conversation, as is Me Too. It was the same with Bombshell, the whole Roger Ailes thing, which wasn't as good as this, even. It might be a personal thing, but I struggle with dramas depicting recent history. And that might be an age thing.
Okay.
Because I think back to Captain Phillips, which I think we saw in the cinema. Did we see in the cinema? Yeah. That was very close after the fact. But when the real story played out, we weren't old enough to be sufficiently tuned into the news. And so it didn't have as much resonance for us. So maybe familiarity is like the subtractive element that robs the film of a sense of timelessness. Yeah. I don't know why that is, but I think nailing this kind of thing is very alchemical. And Spotlight did. And this didn't. No. I didn't think. Do you agree? Well,
I just found it very boring. That was my problem.
Yes, it is boring.
You say the camera's well behaved. I say it was very dull. Like, I get dull. It.
Yeah.
It probably wouldn't have benefited from frenetic cinematography.
No.
But it didn't have anything.
Did you find Spotlight dull visually?
No, and that's what's interesting. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it was because Spotlight... I mean, this is technically a period piece.
Yeah.
But it's a period that looks almost identical to our own. Yeah, there you go. Okay. And we're off. Okay. Yeah.
We're off, yeah.
Yeah, this is what, like 2016?
This always happens. It's always like... Because I have notes, and it's like the first couple of paragraphs of notes, it's very measured. It's like I'm delivering a film review.
Yeah.
Then I say the thing, and
and it's off. Track. Yeah.
All right, go on.
Yeah, it's like a period of time that's very similar to our own.
Yeah.
Whereas Spotlight was 2001, so there was like a little bit of distance in like the technology and very, very slightly the fashion.
A bit. Well, Spotlight, I remember, was hailed for being a celebratory throwback to old school journalism.
Yeah.
Which was, you have to go to the library and find, it's not all digitized.
But I think part of it as well is that Boston just has more character.
It does. A church in the background of every shot.
Exactly, yeah. And I mean that, like, I know that they said that was an accident. Like, you can't film in Boston and not film a church. They're fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know what the equivalent of this film would be. If there was just like a guy...
A man in the background.
Yeah, in the background of every shot.
Holding his cock.
Yeah. He's just masturbating in the background of every shot, yeah. Just Weinstein.
Yeah, well, it's Weinstein. Yeah, like a Hitchcock cameo. Or wasn't it? A silhouette jizzing.
Like Carrie Mulligan is like on the phone while tending to her baby, and just from the window outside you can just see his face.
It's the hand. Pressed against the glass, smushed in. all red.
See, that would have
custard.
compensated for the dull cinematography.
Yeah, if there was a wanking Weinstein in the background of every shot. Yeah, it's.
I just think that, like...
Well, I think part of why Spotlight is so great is it really not just the institution of the church, which is kind of like this distant monolith.
Yeah.
Represented by cardinal law, but like you don't really see many priests in the film. It really sets up the culture of the Boston Globe well, which is most of them are Bostonian, like working class, like Mark Ruffalo, who's the de facto lead, was a cabbie, you know, like they're just working class people. Whereas the New York Times, especially now, it's an elite institution.
Yeah,
it's all glass
just,
panels.
Yeah, young professional women.
Yes.
And I know that, like, she's Jewish and Carey Mulligan isn't.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, like, multiple walks of life and whatever. But it just ends up having no real... character or visual identity.
No.
And I think the film... Like Spotlight... Like I said, Boston has character. I'm not saying that Spotlight had a lot of, like, strong visual identity to it.
Yeah.
It didn't. It looked just like a film.
Yes.
But if you're not engaged in the film... like in the subject matter, or the film's approach to the subject matter, I should say.
Yeah.
There isn't anything else for you. It's not an enjoyable watch.
I don't want to diminish Spotlight in any way because I love that film. I really love that film. In a sense, it's like when we, not criticise, but have a moan when films like set in naturally beautiful locations are nominated for cinematography awards because you didn't have to do all that much work.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you're going into Spotlight, you're already on side. If you know what they're doing, you don't have to be won over. And I think, obviously, this film presumes you're on side, and of course I am broadly on side.
Yeah.
But because everything is so fucking politicized, and just the general state of discourse, my presumption going in is that it's going to be flippant. It's going to make generalizations.
Yeah.
It's going to have a scene that makes, at least one scene that makes you roll your eyes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it did have to work to bring me on side fully.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
No. And that's the thing. It's that idea that it doesn't have to. It's that idea that, like, oh, you already agree with us.
Yeah. Well, the idea that, well, you hate Trump.
Yeah.
Even though half the country doesn't.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
But they don't care.
Yeah.
It's not for them. It's not.
But that's the thing. Like with Spotlight, from what I remember, again, you could level that argument at that, where it's like, you know, the film just assumes that you're on the side of the journalists. And yes, broadly speaking, I am on the side of the people that want us to know that there are priests raping children.
Yes.
But I still feel like the film does a good job, even if accidentally, of kind of outlining just how... Like, I understand how that became an institutional rot. Like,
but also... Spotlight never attacks Catholicism or faith.
No, it never attacks...
It attacks the people running the institution.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you've got that scene in the film where she says, like, to the priest, have you molested anyone? And he goes, yes.
Yeah, very matter-of-factly.
Yeah, and she's like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, I was molested.
Yeah.
And the fact that he says it so matter-of-factly, it just shows to you that this is normal.
Yeah.
They're not hiding anything because they don't think there's anything to hide. This is just normal everyday life for them.
Right.
I completely get how this became a massive problem in that institution.
Yeah.
Because no one recognises it as a problem. I feel like I didn't get that out of She Said.
No.
Like, I didn't really get a good sense of what they were up against. There's like like one phone call where someone who says, yeah, I want to tell you everything, but I'm too scared to tell you everything. She gets a phone call later in the film from another woman who says, hey, Harvey Weinstein heard that the press came to speak to you. You're not going to speak to the press, are you?
But yeah,
I don't really feel... to me, that was kind of like the only real instance where the film felt like it was showing you the power of the institution.
But this is the thing, because what this film does, and we'll get to it, I'm sure, is it very deliberately keeps you away from the men accused of all these things. The reality is, like with Weinstein in particular, I would say, uniquely to this extent, the personality was the company. Like, he was that business.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like loads of stories about, like Stephen Fry said, when he used to go to Cannes Festival, him and his friends used to play a game where they would walk from one part of the Croisette to the other.
Yeah.
And they had to count how many times they heard the name Harvey being mentioned.
Yeah.
Harvey's got a meeting. You know, it's like he was immensely powerful. And so, and then everyone kind of like huddles around him to protect him. But the thing in Spotlight, right, you have some priests, and you have the lawyers representing them.
Yeah.
You have the police that kind of ignore it, or like, you know, they sweep it under the rug.
Yeah.
You do get a sense of these different institutions in this kind of noxious collaboration with each other.
Because especially in the heart of Boston, it's not just the church. Because everyone is affected by the church.
Yeah.
And so everyone is against them.
And that's the thing, everyone's affected by the church. It's an incredibly religious city.
Yeah.
They say, even though it's like a metropolis, it's still a small city. It's very parochial in a way.
Yeah.
Everyone knows everyone. Everyone goes to church. Whereas in this, it's these men. And there's this sense of
this
people around them
unseen
protecting them.
Force.
Yeah.
And though, like, I understand that there's still something to be said about, like, this force that's so above us and so powerful, we never see them.
Yeah, I get the instinct.
But our lives are affected by everything that they say and do.
Yes.
But what we get, how that manifests in the film, at least for me, that's how that manifested in the film, was you just have a bunch of women saying, yeah, I want to tell you everything, but I can't.
Yeah. Why?
We're being told that nothing can be done, rather than seeing nothing being done.
This might be because it is recent history. I don't know. I'm just trying to extend some charity to the film.
Yeah.
It might be for the sake of litigation. It's like we're not going to portray scenes with people telling women blah 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 because we only have their word for it.
Yeah.
So we can only focus on the journalist's perspective, the calls they had, and I'm just like, you know,
if that's true, does that not suggest that it's too early to make that film?
It does indeed.
Yeah,
it is too early to make that film.
Yeah.
The fact they have like what's her name, the actress playing herself in
Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd. It's weird. I just find it weird.
Yeah, Ashley Judd plays herself, but Weinstein and Trump are not, for obvious reasons, are not portrayed by their real persons.
Yeah.
And then there are also other instances where they clearly work around having to show the real person.
Well,
like Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, we'll come to that. It's like, so the film that sprang to mind a lot watching it was The Assistant, which is a film I really liked from like 2019, 2020. Yeah. Julia Garner plays she's like an intern at this film company. You never see the boss.
No.
But you slowly get a sense of the culture in the company.
Yeah.
If he kind of takes advantage of women. And then she goes to an HR guy to complain.
Yeah.
So guy heard this thing. And there's not much like substance to it in terms of proof or anything like that. And in the grand scheme of things, it's not, if my memory serves correctly, in the grand scheme of things, isn't all that bad, but it's still something that should be reported, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the HR guy, played by Matthew McFadden, is basically like, why are you wasting my fucking time? This is nothing. And you do get a sense of, how these people conspire together, and which you don't get from She Said. You just have to kind of take everyone's word for it.
Yeah.
So another issue for me with these biographical films is the dramatic invention. And you obviously need it. It's a film. If it's not a documentary, you need it. It's something that I would do. But when, for instance, she screams at the sexist dude in the bar, you know, like they're sitting in a bar, a guy comes up and hits on them, and she's like, fuck off, pervert, or whatever it is. You just
like,
go,
hey, my friend thinks you're cute. Fuck off!
Yeah. You just go...
Yeah, because I think that was the film trying to say, ooh, sexism is everywhere. Well, look at what these women have to deal with.
That's the church in the background of every shot, She Said, and again, it's not the position the film is taking necessarily. I actually have this problem with Spotlight, again, which is a film I adore. When the dynamism of the pursuit relaxes for character stuff. Not that much, to be fair. But like when Ruffalo's talking about losing his faith.
Yeah.
It feels a little like a superfluous appendage. Like... when the objective becomes subjective, it obviously edges into fanciful or contrived. Life isn't cinematic in that way. And I know this is completely counterintuitive. They're not documentaries. They require characterization. But when I'm not just getting the facts, ma'am, it feels like, and I am, being manipulated. And that will always be a problem with, not so much biopics, because I think with biopics, that like, when you walk in, you're being invited to a character study. Like, you know that's what you're getting into. But biographical stories like this and Spotlight.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to reporting. I don't know if that's just a me problem.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your take on that?
I see what you're saying.
Because the problem with, like, journalistic dramas, you go in kind of thinking, it will be the cinematic equivalent of, like, reading a newspaper story.
Yeah.
Which you expect to be even-handed and just the facts and again, I'm not saying you should never ever imbue any of the characters with character.
Yeah.
It's just always a bit like, you don't do the film thing now. You're doing the film thing.
Yeah, maybe it would be better suited to being like a crisis thriller, like United 93.
Yeah.
It's just, here is just the events unfolding.
Yeah.
As opposed to, here are the characters that we care about talking about being Jewish or whatever it is.
That's a really good example, because I was going to bring up 93 in the context of it was made like 5 years after 9/11.
Yeah.
So really not that long. But that's a really good example because, there is no main character.
No.
It's very cinema verite, documentary style. But at the end, you're like fucking so tense.
Yeah.
And like upset.
Yeah.
And you haven't got to know any of the characters. It's just the circumstances.
Yeah. In a way, having no characters.
Yeah, I'm on the plane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It allows you to slip right in there.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that like I needed that in She Said. I'm not saying I needed an opening to slip in. Oh dear. Okay. Oh, I'm starting there as well.
Oh, me too.
I don't know. I just needed something. I needed something that the film didn't give me.
Yeah, it was missing a certain X factor, wasn't it?
I mean, it could be that like this film was just interested in being a celebration of the women that made this story heard. The women who were brave enough to come out and speak about this horrible event.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Was it obligated to do anything other than that?
Be engaging. I mean, the thing with, again...
What I mean is more like, should it have been an even-handed, or as close to even-handed as you can get, like, thing about Me Too? Not necessarily like, oh, let's hear from Harvey Weinstein now.
Yes.
But more of like a, well, how? Like
explain.
Those little like moments in Spotlight where you kind of learn that like, oh, this is completely normal to the church, which is how this infection has spread.
Nerd it a bit.
Yeah,
It's a short film that we made.
Yeah, short film that we made, and I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to make it sound like I was plugging our own stuff.
I only wanted to bring it up in the context of having made that. I don't think it's affecting my judgment.
Okay,
but like, because the whole point of that was, we're not plugging it.
Yeah, we won't even tell you where to find it.
Exactly, so it doesn't count.
Yeah.
The whole point is it's the perspective of a Me Too producer.
Yeah.
There, as even-handed as it could have been, given that it was his perspective.
Yeah. I mean, like, one of the many things that monologue is doing, it's interested in finding out why he became that guy.
Yeah.
Because he obviously wasn't born that guy.
No.
He was turned into that guy.
Right.
So what made him turn?
Exactly.
And I don't know, like, maybe something to sort of hint at, like, oh, this is, like, we need to be addressing this thing. Like, it kind of suggests that Weinstein was the monster.
Yes.
When really the system that he thrived in is the monster.
Yeah.
And that system kind of goes unchecked.
Yes.
By the film.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if the film was obligated to be anything other than a celebration of the fact that Me Too happened and the people that made it happen. It wasn't enough for me.
It wasn't enough for me either, and I think... So, like in Spotlight, where the whole, the Oscar bit, where it's time, Robbie, it's time. That didn't happen, probably, right?
No.
But when I watched Spotlight, I didn't care. And when that happened, I welled up and got emotional. It's like very emotional thing. So the film was working. And I don't know whether it is just like ingrained sex. I don't know what it is. Sexism, I should have really finished that. Usually the trail off would imply the end of the word, but when you just say ingrained sex, ...
In the context of Me Too.
Yeah. But like when Ashley Judd, like she finally, because she doesn't want to be the source at first.
No.
And then she phones like, okay, I will be the source. She hangs up and like cries like, oh, I've been brave. And you just go, did that happen? Like it creates a bit of an eye roll, like
like why did that happen? Maybe the film told me and I wasn't paying attention by that point, because I'll admit towards the end it lost my attention.
I think she just calls them as like,
but that's the thing, it feels like they all just call her. Like, after...
There's a lot of calling.
Within, like, there's loads of calling. Like, most of the film is people on the phone.
Yeah.
And the thing, that's not even shot very well. There's no, like, split screens or anything like that. Just something.
Yeah. Yeah, it still has to be a
like
film.
The most... Like, the most inventive bit is when it literally becomes a documentary. It just plays, like, hidden audio of Weinstein trying to convince someone to go back to his room and get in the hot tub.
Yeah.
And it's, like, footage of, like, a hotel corridors.
Yeah. I get the instinct for restraint, that thing of like, we are not gonna impose any artistic affect on it.
Yeah.
It's such a serious, somber story. We just have to film it. And that's it. A split screen, no, that would suggest that we're thinking of anything but the gravity of... It's still got to be a film. Schindler's List is a great film. It's about the fucking Holocaust.
Yeah.
It still has to be a film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a documentary was the best way to go, even though there have probably been 10,000 Me Too documentaries.
Well, that's the thing. If it was a documentary, no one would have seen it.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so they depict Trump by voice and Weinstein by frame.
Yes.
He's walking along the offices, and you see him from a distance.
Yeah.
And then his profile.
Floorboards cracking underneath him.
With pure malice.
Yeah.
Grrr, grrr.
Groaning.
Groaning and just dripping with cum. Obviously, that's an intentional device to preserve the aura of evil.
Yeah.
Evil mystique around them. But also, no, we will not give these fucking monsters the time of day.
Yeah.
And
but how can you tell this story without bringing them up?
I know.
Without giving them any time.
But that's the thing. They don't get a voice, right? Fine. And again, I'm sick of myself here and the expectations that have been put on us, where I feel I have to keep saying, I'm not defending blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Get over it, all right? I'm talking to myself here.
Right.
So again, not balance, but something.
Yeah.
Something else. Something.
Well, it's a film trying to tell a story with no villain.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, there is a villain.
Yeah.
They just don't want to talk about the villain at all.
Right.
So it's the heroes prevail over what, though?
Bombshell leaned way too far into it, depicting Ailes as an oozing Bond villain.
Yeah.
Show me a tit. The assistant, like I said, did it really well. You never see the figure, but there's this ever-presence. If anything, if you take anything away from this review, go and watch The Assistant, which is way superior.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah, I haven't really got anything else to say about it.
Okay.
I watched it a while ago. I barely remember it. I'm frankly impressed I said as much as I did.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry, it could have been called All the President's Victims.
Oh, there you go.
What with Trump and Weinstein both being presidents.
Oh, that actually works much better, yeah.
Yeah, or just all the presidents would have sufficed.
Yeah.
Sorry, I do have a couple more notes here, because I listened...
We'd wrapped it up.
I know, we'd wrapped it up. No, because I listened to a podcast where the film was discussed, and one of them was a journalist, and she talked about the self-regarding romance for journalism overtaking the reality of journalism. And it was apparently very unrealistic. Just little things like nobody would ever make a phone call in the lobby. And it's those little details that I think that make or break a film like that. I wouldn't have known that, but now that I do know that, it's annoying.
Yeah,
because it makes sense. You don't make a serious phone call in the lobby.
I guess that was done for pacing, right?
Well, and for it to breathe. So it's not just them in the office the whole time.
Yeah, but I don't know, because if the film was willing to break the rules there, why couldn't it break the rules elsewhere and be interesting?
Yeah. Well, I think all of it in microcosm is the ending, isn't it? It's they're all gathered around the computer.
Yeah. Just
before it's about to be published, and the cursor hovers over publish.
Yes.
And then it clicks us into a cut to black.
Yeah.
And that's such a great side by side with All the President's Men, where the final shot is the two men clacking away diligently on their typewriters, and it's just the sound of a newsroom.
Yeah.
And just the modern analogue of that lacks any punch. And I think that's just the perfect encapsulation.
Yeah, when they're just let's read it one more time.
Yeah.
Go put it through spell check.
And then just...
Yeah, that probably didn't even pick up on the mic.
I clicked then. You probably didn't even hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's it.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Not a recommendation then?
Not a recommendation. It's not a terrible film. Don't get me right. It's not even though we didn't say anything good about it, really, I don't feel like... I don't want to panic completely. It's just a film like this has got to be handled better than most films.
Yeah.
And it didn't do that.
Yeah.
Should we do Pinocchio? Should we review Pinocchio?
Well, should Pinocchio do us?
Hello, just bend over.
Big nose.
Tell a lie, you bitch.
Yeah. Especially since in this version, it branches out as well. It's not just a big stick.
Yeah.
He
Well, let's not go back to Judaism.
Inside... Oh, what? What's happening?
Big noses.
Oh, right, okay. Is that the secret theme running under the entire episode?
Big noses.
Well, Judaism.
Yeah, that's true. Jewish writer, yeah. Well, we'll see. The thing is, we're going to try and consciously put it in now, aren't we?
Yeah.
For other reviews. Okay, Pinocchio.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
I apologise, yes. Very pointedly, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So it's Pinocchio. That's the story.
Yeah, it's not really...
It's not breaking the mold story-wise.
Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio?
Well, we'll come to that. But the story-wise, Geppetto, it's like World War II, fascist Italy.
Is that typical Pinocchio, then?
I think the book is.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know whether it explicitly has fascist characters in it. But I know this film is considered more faithful to the source material.
Okay.
But yeah, Geppetto has a son. The son is killed in a bombing. And then he creates Pinocchio.
Out of rage. A drunken rage. Yeah.
Pinocchio comes to life. And then is his replacement son and all the trials and tribulations that come with that.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Okay.
Okay, it's beautifully animated.
Yeah. Whatever is said during this review,
Yes.
let it be known that it's a gorgeous looking film.
Yes.
It's incredibly well animated.
And
I do not for a
yeah.
second want to detract from the craft
No.
that went into this.
I got a feeling you've got some bad things to say.
So, a Guillermo del Toro stop motion, not necessarily Pinocchio, just a Guillermo del Toro stop motion film. Yes, please.
Yes, and I agree. Like, I like the darkness. I like the child death.
Yes.
And the fascism. I like that it deals with like serious themes.
Yeah.
David Bradley makes an, of course, Geppetto.
Oh, yeah.
McGregor is quite good. Glass Onion aside, which we're obviously getting to, this was the last film of the year, realistically, that I thought might be a contender for my awards. I wasn't, like, excited for it.
I was.
But, well, I wasn't not. But
yeah, no, I'm not saying that, like, oh, but you should have been.
No,
I was like, I was really
it was
excited
like,
for it.
I didn't think about it much.
Yeah.
And then when it loomed, it was like, oh, yeah, that should be good. But yes, a Del Toro stop-motion Pinocchio, I was ready for it.
Yeah.
I didn't, however, know it would be a musical.
Nor did I. Nor did I.
Now, in itself, that's fine. I don't share your... It's not even loathing, your allergy to musicals.
It really is. I think that's how we should refer to it going forward.
Yeah. A musicology.
Yeah.
Get it? Musicology.
Yeah.
One word. Oh, there you go. I didn't get the approval I wanted. But the kid that voices Pinocchio is annoying. And when he starts singing... It's very school play.
I wasn't prepared for the kids, and I wasn't prepared for the musical.
Yeah.
And I think those...
I gotta be honest, the schadenfreude, the masochist in me, the sadist in me,
right,
so relished the opportunity to get to tell you, Jordan, it's a musical.
Yes, because you saw it before me.
Yeah. I was like, you know what it is though, right? And you were like, no. I was like, yeah, he doesn't know. I get to be the one to tell.
I get to see the innocence and the hope drain from his face.
Yeah, it's very school play.
Yeah.
I can't fucking stand that castrati thing of like young boys. Like, you know, I'm a young child and I'm that whole thing. And, like, obviously it's dealing with the fact that he is a replacement essentially for Carlo, which is Geppetto's son. And Geppetto resents him because he's not Carlo, and then the Act 2 lull is when Geppetto is like, you're nothing like Carlo, and then Pinocchio's like, I don't want to be like Carlo, and I just thought, who does this damn puppet think he is? I resented him, like little wooden poser, sentient splinter, anthro dilettante nouveau real douchebag. It'd be like birthing AI and then...
fuck.
It'd be like birthing AI and then instantly has personality and cheek and nerve and thinks it's fucking entitled to something. And like just gives you jip. And it feels horrible to say. It's not the concept, because I like the old Disney Pinocchio. It's the kid's voice.
Yeah.
And you know he's going to grow up to be either a theatre kid or gay.
It's the kid's voice alongside David Bradley, Ewan McGregor, Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, it stands out.
It's like the only... Because there are other children in this.
Yeah.
And they don't sound like Pinocchio does.
Well, and also the kid's like a nobody, right? It's like a they found somebody new. Presumably, who could do the singing,
Yeah.
and then just, I know Del Toro is more, and you flagged this up earlier, I know that Del Toro is more of the auteur over Robert Zemeckis. Because we obviously had another Pinocchio film last year.
Right?
Did we have 3?
Yeah, there was like a Russian one that came out earlier in the year.
Yeah, every year there's a Pinocchio film.
Yeah.
But crucially, the Zemeckis one with Tom Hanks. That was the Disney remake of the original. I know he's more of the auteur, but given that it stars Tom Hanks, a Zemeckis regular, and CGI and all of which he's a pioneer, obviously, it should have been Robert Zemeckis' Pinocchio, and this should have just been Pinocchio. It doesn't feel Del Toro enough to justify it.
Or do you do what was done in 2016 or whenever it was, where you have Disney's Jungle Book and Mowgli? Where you don't even use the Pinocchio title.
No, it's like the Wooden Boy or something.
Yeah.
Maybe the dual 2022 release wasn't the reason. Like, that wasn't the reason they named it as such. I think it's Netflix trying to wed it to Cabinet of Curiosities and trying to cultivate...
Oh, they want another Mike Flanagan.
They want Billy the Bull to be their brand. If you want Del Toro, he's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Because that is Guillermo Del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yes. Yeah, because Del Toro is co-director, right? It's not even like a full Del Toro...
Co-director, co-writer. Yeah, it's not a full Del Toro joint.
Yeah.
It's not Pan's Labyrinth.
No.
It's a little wooden cunt.
Del Toro's little wooden cunt.
Oh, that's vulgar. That's vile.
Yes, okay. So I don't feel like anyone can really defend the child.
No, never.
He was a mistake.
Yes.
I don't feel like anyone can really defend the music either.
No, it's not good.
My allergy aside.
Yeah.
There are no songs in this that are as iconic as When You Wish Upon a Star.
No, unlock.
There are no songs in this as iconic as No Strings to Hold Me Down.
No.
And I think, crucially, with the exception of maybe the song that accompanies the montage of him travelling with Count Volpe, or whatever he's called, which I think is the song that they're putting up for like original song at all the awards that it's eligible for.
Okay.
So that's the one they're banking on. Take those out. Is there, and it's a genuine question to you now, do you think there's any scene in this film, or any musical number in this film, that needed to exist?
No.
If every single one felt like it was just reiterating information I already knew.
Yes, and
it's just like, oh, this musical number tells me that Geppetto loves Pinocchio. This musical number tells me that the Pinocchio has just been born and he's needs the one.
It falls into the trap of which I'm not a musical guy whatsoever. I generally don't like musicals. I think recognize when there's a banger in a musical. Like, oh yeah, I can. Even like A Star Is Born, Shallow. I get it. Yeah. It's a good song. La La Land has good songs. I get it. This doesn't. And when I was in university, there was a session where a musical theatre expert came in, and everyone was very timid, and I didn't really know what to say to her because no one liked musicals. And so I thought, I'll try and ask questions and talk. And she said, "What do you think the purpose of the libretto and the music in the songs in a musical are? What are the purposes?" And I just guessed. Well, I would guess that the libretto was to move the story forward, and then songs capture a feeling. And she said, it's often the opposite.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, all that. But yeah, this fell into the trap of it just kind of, it was a bullet point to what we already knew rather than moving anything forward.
And I wonder if the film recognised that, because I think when you get to Act 3, it sort of forgets that it's a musical.
Yeah, and it ruined it, the fact it was a musical. Like, it could have been, for me, so much better.
Yeah.
And...
well, all my favourite stuff is outside of the musical numbers.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Why do a musical? Why do another Pinocchio musical?
That as well.
Surely it's been done.
I don't know whether there's some, like, weird little hidden clause which obligates you to make the Pinocchio film a musical.
But that's the thing. No, I've seen Pinocchios where it's not,
But, like, if you're deliberately deviating away from what we understand to be the Disney interpretation of Pinocchio.
Yeah.
You're being more faithful to the book, or you're adding your own material or whatever. Surely not making it a musical Surely that's the first thing you do.
Well,
Just take out all
if
the music.
anything, this feels like sticking his chin out more than anything, as like, oh, we will also be a musical because we will be the superior musical. You can't really beat When You Wish Upon a Star. It's one of like the top 100 film songs of all time. You know, it's a classic, isn't it?
It's Disney's like walk-on music. That's how iconic it is.
Well, it's because it's 1940 as well. It's one of their first films, something like second or third or something.
Yeah, that song is Disney. It's the magic of Disney crystallized in audio.
Absolutely. And it's archetypal, and, you know, nothing in this is like that.
Yeah. Whereas, what do we have? Ciao, papa. Ba, 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 ba. I don't even remember it.
No, I don't remember any of the songs.
Yeah.
But it's like, it could have been great. The moment that he starts singing, it was no, Del
because
Toro, Pinocchio.
There's two moments with Jiminy Cricket where he like starts singing a song and then he gets like shut down.
Yeah,
like he starts singing a song and then someone opens the door and crushes him, and then there's like another version later on. It's like, oh, maybe if it did that. Like, you have maybe one musical number, and then you have a Jiminy Cricket moment
and
where
the
he's
film
like,
shuts it down.
Yeah, and there's like, right, no more music.
Yeah.
Because that's a statement then, isn't it?
It's like in Lost when the CD player dies. Like, no more musical montages at the end of the episode. I can only think he wanted to make a musical. And I can see that. I can see why Del Toro would want to make a musical.
Yeah.
You know, he's a very aesthetic, if you like, filmmaker.
Yeah.
And that fits in nicely. But just do something else.
And that's a disappointing thing as well, is that all of the musical numbers, the accompanying visuals of the musical numbers, are grounded in reality.
Yeah.
The film's reality, I should say.
Yes.
There are no pink elephant sequences or anything like that.
No, it just doesn't fit. Like, you have this really dark stuff, and the first song doesn't come for a little while. And then...
Yeah, long enough to lull you into a false sense of security.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just doesn't jibe.
No.
And the kid is a fucking wanker.
Yeah.
Fuck you, kid. I don't know who you are. I wish you were dead.
Well, funny you mentioned that, actually, because I was going to say one thing that I do like about it, because let's talk about something that's good about it, shall we?
Go on, then.
To balance it out, at least. I don't know if this is a feature of the original story. I don't know if this is invention from Del Toro or the other guy that was involved. I'm sorry that I didn't bite the name.
Other guy, yeah.
I like that this version of Pinocchio, the reason that he isn't a real boy is because he can't die.
Yes, it's the mortality.
It's not that he's not a creature of flesh and blood, it's that he can't die.
Well, yeah, this film is about mortality, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I really like the ending, where he's like waiting by Geppetto's grave and all that. Yeah, bleak. But that's why the musical numbers didn't really work.
It does kind of... Yeah, it doesn't quite gel with that.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really clever spin on it. I like, obviously, the design and everything of the afterlife, like I said at the beginning. Like, the craft of this is fantastic. Whoever the fuck came up with the idea of those, like, rats playing poker.
Yeah.
Which is like, hey, go see the boss.
But
go away.
There was a part of it that felt like something out of a college screenplay almost. Like, ooh, yeah, that's an interesting idea, like, concept. I'll put that on my mood board. It's when they're in the church. And he's like, he's talking about the crucifix.
Oh, yeah.
And what's he say? Like, oh, he has nails.
He's made of wood. And people like him. Why don't they like me?
Right. And it's like, yeah, I see what you're doing there. Like, yeah. Again, fine line. Because that could be a brilliant little observation.
Yeah. Like, Pinocchio doesn't realise the comparison that he's making. He's looking at it completely superficially. He doesn't understand the power that symbol holds.
You're supposed to go, oh, how innocent and clever that was. But you just kind of go, ugh.
But by the same token as well, like, he doesn't realise the power that the symbol of the crucifix holds.
No.
He doesn't realise, like, how much of an abomination he is to these people.
Yes.
So he's just like, but they like that, and I'm that.
Yeah.
No, you're not that, Pinocchio.
No, you're not. But I mean, it's too mood boardy. Do you know what I mean? It's too... For me, it was.
Well, like, it's not something that's ever, like, really addressed again. I don't think.
It's just a cool idea they have.
Yeah, there's no, like, because, like, the fact that Pinocchio can't... I mean, he does die, but he comes back to life.
Yeah.
And, like, that period of time, it, like, increases every time he goes to the afterlife.
Yeah.
But there's no, like, oh, he's like Jesus because he came back on the third day. There's no, like, Christ's allegory for the rest of the film. It's just that little bit.
Yes.
How do you feel about him... So, like, the third act happens and Pinocchio dies. Because the deal with death is you have to wait for the hourglass to drain, and then when it does, you go back to the land of the living.
Yes.
But Geppetto and everybody, they're being hunted by the sea monster, they're in trouble, and Pinocchio's like, no, I have to go back now. She's like, well, if you do that, you'll be mortal and you could die. And he's like, fuck it, that's what I want. Does that, dies. And then Jiminy Cricket is like, I wish him to be alive again.
Yes.
And that kind of restores his immortality. How do you feel about that? That like Pinocchio died, but they kind of brought him back to life at the end? Because while I'm completely fine with the fact that like we see him outlive everyone that he loves.
Yeah, it's like that robot in Fargo.
Yeah,
in that Fargo story.
Yeah, like
I can help.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah,
seeing him outlive everybody he loves.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I like that. Like Pinocchio survives.
I don't mind him coming back to life because the whole premise of when you wish upon a star. I don't mind that. It's more that he's immortal again.
Yeah.
Like, bring him back, but he's mortal.
Yeah.
And in fact, that would be a nice thing, actually, because if the idea is immortality is a curse, which it would be, and he's not Carlo, but now he can understand what it's like to be Carlo, because he can die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a much more satisfying ending.
Yeah, like, now that he's come back, but can still die, now he is a real boy.
And the final shot should have been, it looks Psycho, the final shot is him like working out how he's going to get out of it, and then just all the sinister like eyebrows. It should have been him come back as a real boy and telling a lie, realizing his nose doesn't grow, and the camera just tracks in him as he looks like devilishly into the distance and what he can get away with. Yeah, no, it was a shame.
Yeah, or maybe the fact that I don't know. It didn't sit with like this is the Pinocchio film. You can kill Pinocchio. Yeah, you know, and they didn't kill Pinocchio.
Yeah, not properly.
Because I feel like I don't know. I'm letting my mind wander at this point now. But the whole like Jiminy Cricket being a writer that kind of frames the story. Like he's telling us the story that he wrote of Pinocchio. Yeah, that kind of continues after that character dies. Yeah. Because he starts describing about, like, oh, Pinocchio found my body on the windowsill one day. Yeah. And then after that, the monkey died.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest pet peeves with, like, narrated stories is when they have information they have no reason.
That you couldn't possibly have. Yeah. It just feels like that bit of the film kind of goes unresolved. That framing device goes unresolved. Yeah. Yeah. And maybe killing him would have remedied that. Yeah. Because, like, you could, I don't know if there could have been, like, whether there could have been a thing where, like, Jiminy Cricket was like, it's not the people that live forever, it's the stories we tell.
Yeah, it's the memory that lives forever.
And so, here is the story of Pinocchio, you know, the wooden boy that deserves to live in paper for eternity, or something like that.
Well, but then he writes Pinocchio. Yeah. The Pinocchio story that we know comes from Pinocchio.
This creature that was immortal chose to be mortal to save the ones it loved, and that's why it deserves to have its story told throughout the ages, and so I am telling it to you now.
You could make paper out of Pinocchio, couldn't you?
You could, yeah.
Yeah, that should have been the book is Pinocchio.
I love that. I love that idea that, like, the story of Pinocchio is literally written on the corpse of Pinocchio.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, we sanded him down. Yeah.
God, I don't know if that's horrific or, like, it's the best possible way you could honour that character.
I think it's, like, a great idea. It's poetic and it's lovely, and like the original book or whatever. Yeah. And it perfectly works because paper and wood and all that. Yeah. But it does make me think of the Ed Gein skin lamps and like the Holocaust when they made soap out of you. It makes me think of that. So I don't know, but that's sure, on balance it's good.
Yeah, that's such like the perfectly like fucked thing you could do with a Del Toro
Pinocchio.
Yeah, it was like the original edition of Pinocchio is written on the wood that used to be his body. Yeah. That wood is now paper. Yeah. And so when you read Pinocchio, Pinocchio is technically still with you.
They say when the lights are out and the book returns to the shelf, sometimes you can hear it weeping. Yeah. Okay, I think that's everything, right?
Yeah, it was I didn't dislike it.
No, I didn't hate it. It was a shame.
I was massively let down.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad film.
Yeah.
It won the Globe, didn't it?
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we review the menu?
Food?
I'm fucking starving, but we'll get to that.
Okay, alright.
That's right. You might detect a change in momentum of our, our reviews. No, the menu. Do you want to premise this one?
Okay, so from what I understand, I say that as if I haven't watched it. I've seen it twice.
It's not complicated. You've seen it twice.
I've seen it twice, yeah. Yes, so there is an island called Hawthorne Island, and rich people go to this island. Like, it's a thing, right? It's not like a one-off event for the film.
What transpires is, but the general going to the island.
There is a celebrity chef who operates off of Hawthorne Island, and rich people come to the island for an exclusive, unique,
highly specified,
dining experience,
particularized dining experience. Yeah,
and we meet a group of rich people going to this island, and they go to the island, and they get given a tour, and they say, "Oh, look, here is the coastline. The fish that live off the coastline are being harvested for your dinner as we speak." Mm-hmm. And then they're taken into the restaurant and they are served food. But there is a sinister undercurrent running through the whole thing. The chefs, there's this sort of like cultish like quality that all of the chefs have.
There's like a cult of personality.
It's like a cult of personality. When the head chef comes in, he carries himself with this kind of like menace almost. And as they're delivered the courses, things start to like... Initially, it's just like, oh, here's like fish from around the island as like an aperitif.
Yes.
And then they get to like the bread course, and he's like, bread is the food of the poor. As such, you get no bread. Yes. And so their bread course has no bread.
No.
And then like each course becomes more and more like...
personal and like an attack, essentially.
Yeah, you come to understand that these people that have gone there to dine are being held hostage, and they are his victims for the evening.
Yes, he's enacting a kind of grand final...
a final meal.
Meal,
a final course, final meal. His masterpiece.
His masterpiece.
It's a horror? It's a comedy? It's...
interesting. It's certainly a comedy.
Dark comedy.
A dark comedy. With thriller aspects, I suppose. I'm not sure I'd call it horror, per se. But it does have horror tropes in it. But yeah, no, it's more like a comedy, dark comedy thriller.
I think it has a lot of the mystique that comes with horror, because the motives are not clear. We should say that like the character that was our sort of point of view character is Anya Taylor-Joy, who plays someone who's not supposed to be there.
Spoilers. We should specify that.
No, I feel like it's revealed fairly early on that she's not supposed to be there, right?
Oh no, not that. I'm caveating.
Oh yeah, everything going forward is a spoiler. But the point of view character is Anya Taylor-Joy. She's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a problem that she's not supposed to be there.
Yeah, she goes there with a date. She's like a last minute replacement for this other woman.
Yeah.
And yes, her attendance was not part of the plan.
No.
Yeah, so she is kind of the wrench
the spanner in the works.
Spanner in the works.
Yeah.
And she kind of manages to find a kind of communication with the head chef.
Yeah.
Like he takes a special interest in her.
Well, she doesn't buy his bullshit. And I think that's the thing that catches his attention. Everyone that's there is like, yes, the food is...
Yes.
Like, even when they're given literally no bread, they're like, oh, yes, this is wonderful. This is so exquisite.
Yeah. And her date, played by Nicholas Hoult, is an
sycophant.
An extreme sycophant who fawns over him and is like obsessed with reviewing food and like knows all the terms he's supposed to know and all that kind of thing. Yeah, so Anya Taylor-Joy is very good. But I don't know why you'd cast her as the normal person. She's not the girl next door. Now, here's the thing. I know that like they try and qualify that or kind of... So, like, he says to her, she says, I'm the girl next door or something, and he says, you're anything but the girl next door. And you find out that she's a high-class call girl.
Yeah.
But she is essentially meant to be normal working-class person. She likes cheeseburgers.
Yeah.
You know, the problem with that is that Anya Taylor-Joy exudes otherness.
Yes.
She looks odd in a very beautiful way.
Yeah, yeah.
But she's not the girl next door, is she? She's a model.
Yes.
That's what she is.
Yeah, she does have this kind of like alien elegance to her.
She does. But I do think high class call girl is a good middle ground.
Okay.
Which is, it is both those worlds.
Yeah.
You know, spends time around those people and can fit in with them, but she's still a hooker.
She's still like hard graft.
She's still hard graft.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicholas Hoult is carving out a niche as man in crisis of masculinity. He's done it like 2 or 3 roles now, between this and The Favourite. And The Great.
Would you throw Fury Road in there?
No, in that he's kind of like... Even though, he's not stronger necessarily than the female characters.
No.
He's more like the demented. He's the redeemed man in that, isn't he?
Yeah, okay, all right.
But like in The Favourite and the Great, where he's just bullied by women.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ray Fiennes is great, as always. He's very magnetic. I thought Hong Chow was a standout.
She's the main, like...
Yeah, his go-to... I don't know.
Server? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what the chef term would be.
Yeah, like, as they're eating, she wanders the tables to make sure everything is to their satisfaction, which it very quickly isn't.
Yes.
But that's all part of the plan.
Yes.
So she's fine with that.
Yeah, she's very buttoned down and kind of, you're going to eat that now.
Yeah.
You know. Yes.
You will eat... What was the line? You will eat less than you desire and more than you deserve.
That's right. Yeah. Pretentious food is a particular bugbear of mine.
Yeah. Yes.
I know it's ridiculing that kind of high society bullshit.
Yeah.
If I was there, I'd put up with it. As soon as he said no bread, I'd be off.
Yeah.
If you're not giving me bread, mate, nah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's great, funny, wanky dialogue. Every line, really, is I'd say it's quotable. The thing, it's all so quotable, you kind of forget most of it.
Yeah.
But the one that stood out to me, and it's by no means representative because it's relatively, it's not that colourful. But it's they delivered one of the courses, and they have this food critic there, obviously incredibly pretentious, and she's eating. She goes, "It's fiendish." I just want to punch her in the face. And another great line is, "It wasn't cod, you donkey." That's a fucking great line. But all of it, the dialogue is very rich.
Yeah.
The taco laser image thing. I mean, I know that's meant to be like a watershed moment where you kind of realise, yeah, something's really afoot.
Yeah.
And maybe it's deliberate, but I found that was tacky. I was like, I'm like, yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Taco,
yeah, literally. Yeah. I think that's, yeah. There's a dash in tacky. But that's the thing. It's like dance. I mean, I don't really know whether a dance is good or not. Like ballet, I don't know the difference between shit ballet.
Okay.
If they fall over and snap their hip, I know it's bad.
Yes.
But other than that, you could fool me. Same with food. I don't know what's meant to be good food, what's considered good food.
Yeah.
But I did know the taco thing. It's like, no, that's cheap. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt, but maybe that's deliberate.
Okay.
I like that it was all essentially in the restaurant. Because I had some preconceptions about the film but didn't pan out, and I was happy they didn't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. So if anyone is still here in the spoiler section that hasn't seen the film yet, I feel like rich people go to an island where a chef has sinister intentions. Ooh, I know where this is going.
Yes.
It doesn't go there.
It doesn't. No. And yeah, so I thought it would start in the restaurant, and then they are unleashed on the island to be hunted.
Yeah.
And so it would span the island. They only very briefly go outside, but they put a lot of that in the trailer to create the impression.
Yes.
I also thought that it would be a recurring thing. That's what he does. He gets rich people on his island and he murders them. That's not the case either. Nope. This is a one-off.
Yeah.
I'm glad it benefited from that.
Yeah.
As villains go, if you can call him a villain, which I suppose he is, he has to be one of the most sympathetic I've ever encountered in film.
Yeah.
I was totally on his side.
Yeah.
For the whole... It's like, yeah, kill him.
Yeah.
Kill him slowly. It's completely shallow and very, very fun.
Oh, yeah. This is a fun film.
It's fun. Yeah. It's entertainment.
Yeah. There is, like, some, like, you know, it's...
yeah.
There's, like, a satire of, like, celebrity chefs and...
Yeah, it's not shallow in, like, it's basic. It's like, as shallow goes, it's the best you're going to get. That and Glass Onion, which we'll get to.
Giving away his opinion.
But you know what I mean? Like, they're not... You wouldn't call them art, per se. They are fun, but they're high-class fun. They're like Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah. Hit us up, Anya.
Yeah. As fucking if. I really liked it. And I liked it more than I thought I would because, to me, because it was like the last film of the year I hadn't seen that I wanted to.
Yeah.
I think I said to you before I saw it, it was like one too many films. It was like a film that was a candidate to be something I liked, but after Glass Onion and after all these other things, it was like...
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a grand finale.
No, it doesn't.
It feels like more after the grand finale. So I can understand why you felt like that.
Well, it just felt to continue with the food metaphor. Yeah, too rich. It felt like I've had my fill.
Yeah.
I don't need more sugar now.
Yeah.
You know? I was sated. I had my veg, my very tasty veg with the Banshees of Inisherin. I had my dessert with, glass onion. Spoiler. We liked it. I don't need this.
Yeah.
This is like too much now. But I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I made room.
I made room. I can always make room. There's something I should have learned by now about myself.
Yeah.
What's that? You've had 2 Sundays. Yeah, I can have a box of Maltesers.
And another Sunday, please.
With Maltesers.
With the Maltesers, yeah. Malteser Sunday.
We're going to have to order food soon.
Yeah, I don't want to talk too much about it. Because it's fun. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I think you will too.
Yeah, that's it, really.
Yeah.
There is no use talking about the ending or anything approaching the ending. There's nothing to say about it, really.
No.
It's all self-explanatory. It's simple.
You'll get it. There's no ambiguity. There's no wanky,
No.
Oh, that ending probably meant something to someone. It ends.
Yeah, finish it, and that's it.
Yeah.
We recommend it.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Yeah.
Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery.
So what did you think of this film, Sam? I'd be interested to hear what you thought.
Well, I like it.
Oh, good. Okay.
I was worried about diminishing returns after Knives Out, but I don't think it's as good as Knives Out. I'll start by saying that.
Well, that was going to be my end of review question.
Yeah.
But fine. Yeah, okay, let's do it now.
Yeah. I don't think the film doesn't suffer from diminishing returns, but equally, I don't think it's as good as Knives Out.
Well, it's a very different film to Knives Out.
It is.
It has enough that this could be a series.
Yeah.
There's enough connective tissue while, both of them still feel like their own distinct entities.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's almost unfair to compare them. For one thing, Daniel Craig is a lot goofier in Glass Onion.
Yes, he is.
Not different character goofier, but he's a lot goofier than.
Well, he's more of a character in a way.
Yeah.
Even though still he's not necessarily the central character, he is still. He does have more character than he does in Knives Out.
Yeah.
Where he is ornamental.
Yes.
And in this, we kind of see some of his home life and.
Yeah.
So now there's some distance from COVID. I mean, it's still around, obviously. But I'm okay with the COVID set film now.
I am, but...
I mean, it's not a big deal in the film.
Well, that's the thing. You've got the sort of the first few minutes, the first few scenes, I should say.
Yeah.
Where it's set during COVID and they're wearing masks and characters that aren't social distancing, a big deal is being made of the fact that they're not. Mm. And then Ethan Hawke shows up. Yeah, Ethan Hawke shows up and is open your mouth.
Yeah.
And then he sprays some of his juices in them.
Yeah.
And they're cured. And COVID never comes up again.
Strangest but very welcome cameos.
Yeah.
Ever. He's great in it. We'll get to him. He's a central part of my review. Yeah, but so all the sitcoms and one-off dramas, with the exception of Help, that covered COVID at the time, felt too opportunistic.
Yeah.
Not in a cynical way, but just taking advantage of current events. And obviously that's what we're meant to do to some degree. But you just knew a lot of it would age poorly or quickly, or otherwise just fade from memory. But by dint of the masks, Glass Onion feels like a period piece.
Yeah, that's what's strange about it, is that it's the setting, the time period, modern day, it's set in modern day, but it doesn't need to be.
No.
They could have just not brought up COVID and it wouldn't have impacted the film at all. They could have got away with it.
I think that was kind of a bit of autobiographical thing, really, where he said he wrote during COVID, he just fantasized about a Greek island.
Yeah.
So you just kind of put that in the drama.
Which is fine, but the kind of all the modernity, as in modern life that's in this film, has been modern life for long enough outside of COVID.
Yeah.
That it doesn't feel like it needs to be rooted in the now.
Yeah.
Especially since, this is a murder mystery, as was Knives Out, but it's a murder mystery with a twist.
Yes.
In that it was written by Rian Johnson, and he has somehow managed to take a genre that has a limited lifespan by design and has turned them into something that is infinitely rewatchable.
Yeah, because they're fun.
Because they're fun, and also they're layered.
Yes.
I mean, the benefit with Knives Out was that... Spoilers for Knives Out?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. The benefit of, what Knives Out had going for it is it starts as a murder mystery, and it spends those first, 30, 40 minutes introducing you to the characters, setting up their motives, laying traps for you, and then it goes, this is the killer. And he goes, not only is this the killer, but it was totally on accident.
It's not a murder.
It's not a murder.
Yeah.
And the rest of the film is this person trying to stop the murder being solved.
Yes.
It's like, ooh, okay. Something completely different, but I'm totally invested in. And it like makes perfect sense. And it still fits within that framework. But it's like, yeah, it's like different. And Glass Onion
it's like postmodern.
has its own little thing where it's like, this is a murder mystery. No, it's not.
Yes. Well, it is, but just not in the way that you thought it was.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. There's layers to it that the film reveals to you later on.
Well, Rian Johnson's politics are clear, but the film is executed with such wit and panache. I didn't find it detracting, really.
No, I didn't, to the point where I'm surprised. I've been surprised by the amount of people to whom this seems to have detracted for them.
Yeah.
People I think that we would typically, if not wholeheartedly agree with, people that we would go, I
generally aligned with.
I see what you're saying, are coming out completely against it. It's like, this is a terrible film with awful politics. It's like, well, I managed to enjoy it still, so I'm surprised.
I don't agree with any of his politics, I would imagine.
No.
But I liked it, because it's not all about that.
Yeah.
You know?
Like this whole, he's clearly Elon Musk, and the film is calling Elon Musk, and by extension, all billionaires idiots.
Well,
okay, but
Elon Musk is actually an idiot, and the true genius is a black woman. It's that kind of typical wokey kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's not there enough for you to be annoyed about it. I don't think, anyway. Benoit Blanc being gay works. Yeah. Really works. Hugh Grant being his partner.
Well, that's the thing. You made Hugh Grant his partner.
Yeah.
So it's fine. I'm perfectly invested.
I want to watch that.
Yeah.
I want to watch that film. It was nice that Blanc had a bit more character stuff. Sharp, crisp, colourful, fun dialogue.
Yeah.
The standout to me, it kind of slips between the cracks, but it's my puzzle guy. It's just in a throwaway bit of dialogue. It's like, my puzzle guy did like blah, blah, blah. The fact he has a puzzle guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then like Imbreathiate and, all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, a lot of that stuff does come back at the end.
It does.
But yeah, it's just like as an isolated line.
Yeah, there's a nice bit of just, again, throwaway dialogue where Norton's talking to someone. He says, Frusciante he's really the heart of the Chili Peppers. I'm with him there. I agree with that. The guitarist. I love the visual style. I love the trinkets and devices and costumes and the names. That very colourful kind of genre stuff.
It's nice to see a film that's this colourful. I feel like films aren't this colourful anymore.
No. Yeah, it shines, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's a line in it that is clearly meant to be the funniest, best line in the film. And it probably is in terms of delivery. I'm annoyed because it's the kind of thing, the friend that we've brought up before, that he would love. I think it's the best line, but it kind of is. What is reality? What is reality? Just that delivery was fantastic.
Yeah. Fantastic performances all around.
Yeah, right? Particularly Janelle Monáe.
Yeah.
I understand why she's getting the accolades.
Yeah, because the first half of the film, it's not clear, is it?
No, because we knew going in, awards had started, and she was being nominated a lot. Why?
Yeah.
And then you get why. I think equally deserving, almost equally as deserving, Edward Norton. I thought he was really good. And Ethan Hawke, he made an impression. He's become a proper chameleon, that guy.
Yeah.
Just like his grey hair and the ponytail. He's like, who is this man? He's just like, he's so magnetic on screen, Ethan Hawke. He's become brilliant. It's funny if you go back and watch Dead Poet Society, his first film, and how nervous he is.
Yeah.
And then he First Reformed, and fair play to him.
Black Phone as well.
Black Phone, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not as clean and pure as Knives Out, but it's still fantastic. The setup, I found, was more fun than the peel back. Them arriving there and getting to know those characters and all that kind of thing. But the latter is still very satisfying.
Yeah.
Especially when details that your brain had pushed aside or overlooked are addressed.
Yeah.
With mysteries, there tends to be a resignation, right? So when something small doesn't make complete sense, your brain just thinks it's not important, or I'll wait for the reveal and it might make sense on the rewatch, or I've missed something, it doesn't matter. A little thing like Andy, Janelle Monáe, hiding from Miles in the corridor after, spoiler, Duke is killed. It's the perfect example of something you might dismiss Yeah, she just hide it. I don't know why. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a shot. It's a frame, basically.
Yeah.
That when contextualized, really builds your confidence in the filmmaker. And it's more rewarding that way.
Yeah.
It creates the accurate impression that it's well made.
Yeah.
And I really like this structure for the series, it seems, with Benoit Blanc. It's the Benoit Blanc series, but he's never really the lead.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
Because even though he's the one saying, oh, this is what everything is.
Yes.
These are all the players, these are all the pieces on the board, this is the game that we're playing.
Yeah.
He's never part of the solution.
Well, it's because he doesn't really have an emotional attachment to what's going on. He does a little bit more in this one.
Yeah.
But it's not his thing.
Yeah.
You have Anna de Armas in the first one, you have Janelle Monáe in this one.
Yeah, he's a detective, he solved the case, it's nothing to do with him anymore.
Yeah. He's not the heart of the story.
Yeah.
There has been dissent to this film.
Okay.
Obviously, not just political.
Yeah.
The dissent has festered a little bit, I gotta say.
Okay, within you.
Yeah, the plot stuff. There is some silly plot stuff.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Okay, let's do this.
I did... Is it worth doing it? I mean, like, is it's so convoluted and contrived.
Well, you brought it up
there.
now.
Well, I'll just say... Right, we recommend the film, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's very good. We both really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we are not politically aligned with the film, so that shouldn't be a consideration. Why does Miles send Andy a box? I'll just say that.
Yeah.
And that's not my observation. We should credit this to Ben Shapiro, who hated the film.
Yeah.
For a bunch of reasons. But plot-wise, he is on the money, where a lot of it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's a shame because there's so much in this film that does work.
Yeah, and so much to love as well.
Yeah, that when you hear about things like that, you think Rian Johnson must have just not realised.
Yeah.
Like, he just completely missed it. Because there's no way that you could write a script that, like, is designed in the fashion that it is. And you're not, like, you're just kind of bluffing your way through
I
it.
know, because I always think this, right? Whenever we find a plot hole in something, but we still really like the thing, whatever it is, I go, I know if I was writing that, it would never get made.
Yeah.
And there's that constant struggle of, do you just have to ignore certain things, because nothing's perfect?
Yeah.
Because if you're that rigid, nothing will ever get fucking done. But that's a biggie. The boxing's a biggie.
Yeah.
And I would...
Well, the film doesn't happen if that plot hole is addressed.
That's the thing. So I want to say, oh, you overlooked it, but you need it for the film to happen.
Yeah.
And so he just kind of, it's fine.
Maybe. Yeah.
Part of me is thinking, is it as an alibi? Like, if he still sends her a box after she's supposedly dead?
Yeah. But the film doesn't give me that.
No,
I'm assuming
it doesn't.
that. Yeah.
Is there anything else to say about it?
Not really. Yeah, it's like the COVID stuff. Like I get it.
Yeah.
I don't think I needed it.
No, I didn't need it.
Because Knives Out has a completely timeless quality to it, even though it's set in modern day and there's modern technology. I mean, it's helped by the fact that a lot of it's set in that manor house, and the fact that this is set on some like rich guy's Greek island, separate from the rest of the world. It could also have adopted a timeless quality. Even only because of the type of story that it's telling as well. Like this kind of like subverted murder mystery. All audiences are always going to connect with a story like this.
Well, yeah.
And so the COVID stuff at the beginning, I don't think it's going to have a massive impact on the film.
No.
For like future generations that have to like be reminded of what COVID was. Like our grandchildren.
Well, the very first thing in the film is March 2020.
Yeah.
It puts it in in a certain time. And I mean, it's barely in it. And you don't need it. But I mean, the whole thing of he's kind of experiencing cabin fever and he's just in the bath and he's waiting for a case. And I get that. And I do like the suggestion that, you know, this billionaire just has a cure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that. Those deals are nice. Yeah, it's not a big thing. And the film really, other than like the dialogue and the colour of it, it is the plot. And there's no point us really talking about the intricacies of the plot, because that's what the film is. Yeah,
it robs you of that experience. But the film did a lot to fill me with confidence going forward. There are like things that the film... There are moments like after a certain event happens, that event is revisited by characters through conversation and memories and whatnot. And those revisitations are somewhat distorted. And the film reinforces those distortions.
Yes.
But there are some things, I know that I'm talking in vagaries at the moment.
Yeah.
It'll become clear when you watch it.
Yeah.
There are certain things that the film does not distort. And on subsequent rewatches, you realise, oh, the film told me something was happening.
Yeah.
You know, like a character is introduced.
The glass.
Yeah. And a character is called by a certain name.
Yeah.
Which isn't their name.
Yes.
And you don't even register it. Yeah. And then when you revisit that scene after all the revelations about that character has come out, you realise, oh, he called her that name before. Why did I not even pick up on that?
I tell you what, though, right? Because there's
Ryan Johnson knew that that wasn't going to be distracting.
No,
to audiences. Audiences would miss it.
Yeah, I went into this film with goodwill because I really liked Knives Out.
Yeah,
I wanted to really like it. But that aside, it is interesting how much your brain is willing to just bat away for the sake of cohesion.
Especially since when you're writing the script for this film, you have to draw attention to that detail, or at the very least, that detail is there for you to revisit at any moment.
Yes, because there's a character.
So you as a person, you as a filmmaker, have to know. Oh, audiences just won't pick up on it. I promise you.
Yeah, you need to have a real insight for that kind of thing.
Yeah,
there's a character who's not called Helen that he calls Helen.
Yeah,
and I did pick up on it when he first said it, right? But that's the thing. This is what I'm talking about. The brain doing so much work for life to make sense. It didn't go, even though it knew I was watching a murder mystery.
Yeah,
it didn't go, ooh, you should remember that. He called her Helen. I just thought, at one point he's eating a little hot sauce and he goes, Helen, bury that.
Oh, right.
To me, him bumping into this person going, Helen, was just one of his southern.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, hell.
Well, that's even more impressive.
Do you know what I mean?
Because I didn't pick up on it. And then when he calls her Helen after we realise who she is, that's when I realised, oh, they haven't changed the dialogue from the first scene, so he must have called her Helen back then.
Yeah.
But
I noticed
heard that it was Helen, and recognised that it was Helen.
And my brain just went, don't matter.
Yeah. That's even more impressive.
Yeah. I think, it's the brain is obviously always trying to make sense of things. And when things don't quite line up, like her hiding from Edward Norton, you just ignore it. Go, I get it. It must make sense, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you see why it does, and you go, oh, yeah, that's really well put together. Shame about the box. It's a shame about that box.
It is a shame.
And the journal. That's another thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But we recommend it.
Yeah, it didn't ruin the film for us.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Nor do I feel like it will ruin the film for you.
No, you like it, whoever you are.
Yeah.
You will like it. Shall we move on to the final item?
Ooh.
Yes.
This is the big one.
This is the big one. Well, you say that.
Oh?
Oh, as in, lengthwise, I don't know how long it's actually going to take.
Oh, no, I didn't mean lengthwise. Just in terms of,
this is the important one. Yeah,
this is the reason you're watching this episode.
Do you want to do it again? Do it again.
Okay.
Go on. Say it's like the big...
Oh. Yeah. Ooh, the big one.
Yeah. This is the biggie.
Well, this is the reason... I feel like if anyone's going to be listening to this episode, this is the bit you skip to, right?
I suppose. If you give a shit about
all of the shit that came before was just whatever.
Yeah.
This is the bit that I've come for.
Yeah.
And fair enough, This is the bit that I've been looking forward to as well.
Okay. Should I begin? So this is our top 10 TV and film shows together of 2022.
TV and film shows.
Is that what I just said?
I think that's what you said.
I think you're right this time.
Yes.
I think that is what I said. Yeah. I meant it.
I'm sticking with it.
I'm sticking with it.
I'm rolling with it. I will see where it takes us.
Our top 10 TV shows and films of 2022.
So we should say that this is a top 10 list.
Yes, where they're merged.
Where they are merged, yeah.
So these are the top 10 things of 2022.
Yes.
Okay. Number 10, for me, is season 1 of The Bear.
Another thing we should have stipulated is that...
How is this going to happen?
If I have a film or a TV show that's in my list, which is higher up than your list,
we will wait.
We will wait until we come to the one that's later on.
Yeah.
So say your number 10 is my number 5.
Yes.
We will talk about it when it's my number 5.
Not the other way around, though.
No.
If it's mine, we talk about mine.
Yeah, yours takes priority.
So we will... Yeah.
In this instance, we cannot yet talk about the Bear series one. Also, if we've talked about it previously on the podcast, we will mention where it was.
Yes.
So the Bear It was a brief review in episode...
Well, when we save it till your review. Till our mutual review.
Okay.
Yes.
You won't know until then.
Yeah, there you go. You're only listening to this if you've listened to every other episode. Okay, what's your number 10?
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah, we'll go back and forth as well.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, this was...
We don't have to... We can just do it, and they will get the gist of what we're doing.
Yeah.
I think we have to say, right, just to prepare you, I'm going to do my number 10,
okay,
and Sean will do his number 10.
We'll just keep going. We'll just do it.
Go on.
Okay, my number 10 of the year
Yeah.
is Bad Sister Season 1.
Right, we've got to wait.
Right, we're not going to talk about that either.
My number 9 is Mass, the film, which I know you haven't seen.
I have not seen, and it's 2021 for me because I go off international release date.
Yes.
So talk about it.
You should never
to your heart's
watch
content.
it. You should watch it.
Okay, why?
Well, it's...
Why?
Well, I refer you to episode 58, Jordan.
Oh.
Where you can find, I think, a relatively brief review.
Probably.
It's a drama essentially set in one room with two couples, groups of parents, one of whom are the parents of a school shooter and the other a victim of that shooter. And they get together in like a room in a church. It's the first time they're sitting down together to have a conversation.
Do we? I think I asked this during the review.
Yeah.
Do we know who orchestrated this? Or is this just one of those things that's happened?
It's through like an organization.
Okay.
Like there's a woman representative who's like, right, we've got you, here's where you're sitting and all that kind of thing.
Okay.
But then they leave him to it. And it's Jason Isaacs. I should have written down the actors. But the standouts are Jason Isaacs and Ann Dowd.
Okay.
They're brilliant in it.
Right.
Really, really good. It's a very simple film. It's very theatrical, as in, it's like a play. Frank Kranz wrote and directed it. The guy in Cabin in the Woods, that's the stoner.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it's his directorial debut.
Yeah.
It's very worth a watch.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it a bit grim?
Well, it's not a light-hearted romp.
No. But is it a bit grim in like a good way?
Well, it's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. It's not melodramatic, though.
Okay.
It's just a well-acted drama.
Good. Okay. My number 9 is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish.
Okay, I ain't seen this yet.
You ain't seen this yet.
This is this year for me.
Yes, because of more release date tomfoolery.
Yes. So I do it properly.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish
Yes.
is the best animated film of 2022.
Okay.
And it deserves the Oscar.
Pinocchio's going to beat it.
Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is the best animated film, and it deserves the Oscar.
I'll believe you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
What a massive surprise. I was not expecting anything of this. I think, like, when everyone's reaction when Puss in Boots 2 was first announced and advertised, because I think this has been in production hell for ages.
Was a big whatever.
Yeah, no, it's just genuinely
big what? I don't even care. What's that? I don't care.
Yeah, genuinely just like, okay,
Yeah.
sure, all right.
Yeah.
And then trailers came out, and it seemed like they'd adopted the kind of Spider-Verse animation, which I think Bad Guys, which is also a DreamWorks film that came out earlier this year, kind of took from that as well. Where it's sort of, it is 3D animation, but it's aping a lot of the technique and aesthetic of 2D animation as well.
Didn't like the Bad Guys animation.
No, Bad Guys, this is definitely better.
Yeah.
This does it better, because whereas in Spider-Verse, it's inspired by comic books, so you've got very, like, bold, stark colour choices, you've got panels and, like, speech bubbles or whatever it is, and there's no, like, focus racking. It's all, like, they use chromatic aberration to sort of, like, imply distance. All techniques that are used in comic books. This is taking more after, like, watercolours. So it's like fairy tale paintings.
Right. Okay.
So even though it has that kind of, like, drop frames dynamism, especially in its action scenes that Spider-Verse has, it looks like, if indeed they took inspiration directly from Spider-Verse, it looks like they looked at that film and went, and rather than said, right, we want to do that, they said, right, what's good about that, and how do we make it work for us?
So it's got a bit of the Loving Vincent about it, is it?
Yeah, it's not as much.
Yeah,
like
not
that.
as full on as that.
Like,
but like
it's
the watercolory effect.
Yeah, like a lot of the backgrounds, if you pay attention to them, they have a kind of like brushstrokey kind of texture to them. But the characters still look like 3D animated characters. I mean, Puss in Boots has never looked this good on film. It's also like probably my favourite portrayal of Puss in Boots. Is he? No, it's just like it feels like a full blown character,
right? Which
is a massive surprise. Because I think even in I don't even remember the first Puss in Boots film, and I definitely went to see it in the cinema. But yeah, like, again, much like Spider-Verse, it feels like the film is actually dealing with that character. It's sort of like taking someone who has a legacy to them and it's separating from them from that legacy.
I want to just say now, don't blow your load, because we'll probably review this film.
Yeah, we probably will. Yeah. I'm just saying to you now,
yes,
this is what I loved about it.
Yeah.
Other than just the amazing animation. Yeah, it's a character that is separated from its legacy, and the film goes, right, are you even worthy of that legacy? Oh, you think you are? Prove it.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I was like really surprised about. It's just like, yeah, this is like, I thought this was just going to be like shitty filler studio fare, and it feels like a film with ambition and a point.
Okay.
And also, it's one of the best paced films, like in terms of like snappy animation and editing. It's one of the best paced films of the year. Highly recommend it.
I'm gonna say refer you to episode 68 for that review.
Okay. Oh, you're
yes.
stamping it in the calendar.
I am.
Okay.
Okay. My number 8 is season 3 of Evil.
We can talk about this. I'm actually kind of gutted because Evil was on my list. I just I hadn't seen the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
It was too much to catch up on in the time I had.
I can't really review it without reviewing the show. It's basically about a group of 3 professionals that work for the church. One of them is a skeptical psychologist. One of them's a priest who does exorcisms and the like. And one's kind of like a technical expert, the computer guy. And on the surface, it's like, oh, the computer guy, that, you know, but it's a lot better than that premise suggests.
Yeah.
And they are sent by the church to investigate claims of not supernatural, but, you know, religious experiences and possessions and all that kind of thing. And the show's just fucking mental.
Right.
It's mental.
Okay.
And season 3, it's not...
Fun mental or conceptually mental?
Oh, both.
Okay.
It has a sense of humour, a really dark sense of humour, a really strange sense of humour.
Okay.
Where it's dealing with it's very serious. It's dealing with these very, like, religious themes and crises of faith and visions of angels and all these kinds of things. But then it'll have, like, the main character is taunted nightly by a demon that comes into a room that's like almost like has a Jewish stand-up shtick about him.
Right, okay.
Like, hey, how you doing? You know.
Perspiring audibly.
Yeah, exactly. No, that different kind of Jewish.
Okay.
I'm talking about the cigarette smoker Jewish.
Oh, right, okay.
That's Woody Allen. That's right, yeah. Perspiring audibly. Great line. Yeah, it's a very unique creature. The tone of it is very unusual between uber serious and the whole thing's a joke, and I recommend it, you know. The performances are all great. Michael Emerson, who played Ben in Lost, is in it as this weird creep that just wants to incite evil everywhere. Yeah, just, you're going to watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe we can review like the first 3 seasons or something on a later episode.
Well, the question that I have to you, which I suppose can close out this little section, Evil wasn't something that you brought to my attention until season 3.
Okay.
So does that imply that the bar has been raised by season 3, or is the show of consistent quality?
It's pretty consistent. I think it's more confident in season 3.
Okay.
It's a little bit bigger.
Right.
And it's just been on long enough, it's kind of proven itself now.
Okay.
It's not a fluke, you know what I mean? So yeah, Evil season 3.
Okay.
What's your number?
And by extension,
the rest of it.
The rest of it, yeah. Yes. Cool, all right. My number 8 is Boiling Point.
Go wait.
Ooh.
My number 7 is season 1 of Bad Sisters.
So okay, all right, okay, we're finally catching up to ourselves.
We refer you to episode 64 for a review.
You reviewed it. Yeah. I hadn't seen it at the time.
Yes, it's not a long review.
No, it's not a long review, but it was that review that review did sort of prompt me to go see it. Because I was aware of it, like, outside of the podcast. It was just one of those things where I was like, oh, I missed that, I guess.
Yeah.
But you were like, no.
Give it a go.
Give it a go. And I did. It's good.
And it's good. What can we say about it?
I do want to say something about it, but it's a negative.
Go ahead.
But it's basically the only negative that I have about it, which is why I want to bring it up.
It's qualified. It's in your top 10 things of the year.
Yeah, it's my 10th. It's my 5th favorite show, 10th favorite thing of the year. But it's the reason that it's at the bottom of the list.
Okay. Almost
kicked out of the list, even. We won't go like deep into the premise or anything like that, but obviously the main villain of the show, I suppose, is the husband, John Paul. And he is a vile, awful, evil piece of shit.
Yes.
But the thing that I really like about the show is that even though you're on the sisters' side completely, and they have every right, and they have every like reason to take his life, technically, he's done nothing wrong.
Yes.
Even if everything that he'd done was like told as it was to somebody.
Yeah, legally he's done nothing
Legally,
wrong. Yes.
He's done nothing
Morally,
wrong.
he's a pig.
Morally, he's a pig.
Yeah.
But there are even little moments as well, like with Ursula's affair, where it's like, yeah, technically he is in the right, because he's like, tell your husband, end the affair.
Sure.
It's the way he goes about it.
Yes.
Which is so like awful and disgusting.
He's a cunt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But legally...
Yeah.
He has done nothing wrong, and they are completely in the wrong for what they are doing. Yeah. But the show manages to like balance that really well, and it punishes the sisters accordingly. What happens to BB at the end of series 5?
Episode.
Sorry, what happens to BB at the end of episode 5?
Yeah,
genuinely affected me.
Right,
because I was like, I like that character, but just like what she brings upon that person, and how that affects her.
Yes.
That like really hit for me. I don't know what it was. It was just like, oh, that's such a specific fate.
Yeah.
And it's the worst fate that character could have like had for her.
Yeah.
Like the show really understands its characters because it knows how to punish them properly. Same with the youngest sister in episode 9. That's probably the worst thing that could have happened to her. And then when it comes to like episode 10, like the very end of the show, they start to pull out revelations regarding John Paul where it's like, oh, he has actually done stuff that's legally wrong.
Yeah.
They're bringing out like the really big guns at the end.
I'm not just like, legal is one thing, obviously. And like, forget the legal thing. He has done things that are morally repugnant.
Yeah.
And he was already horrible before that. But horrible in a very recognisable... He's just a cunt.
It feels like the show was going, that guy in your life?
Yeah.
That guy?
He's just...
We're going to fuck him up for you.
He's just a loathsome, oozing dickhead.
Yeah.
That you just don't want to be around. But he hadn't actually done anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, because legal, it feels like it's something else. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, there's no, like, hard boundary.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things that's really interesting about the show, is there's no hard boundary to, like... But no, at the end, it feels like the show's going, all right, he is an evil cunt. He did the worst thing possible.
Yes.
He deserves to die.
Yes.
There's no ambiguity about this.
Yeah.
I just thought, oh...
Yeah, it was an interesting... nuance.
It lost its edge in that moment. It feels like it sacrificed its edge for the sake of justifyingly having a happy ending.
Yeah.
And that's the reason. That's the one negative I have about it. Everything else I really, really like.
But this is the thing though. Like when we watch shows, our ethics kind of go out the window because we're invited to sympathise with characters that do heinous things.
Yeah.
And you understand it, and you kind of live vicariously through them or whatever. Obviously, them killing him would be wrong, and all the rest of it. But in the context of watching a TV show, he didn't need to have done what he did.
He'd already done enough.
I'm with them. Yeah, kill him.
Yeah.
He's a dickhead.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a TV show, and I don't have to think, in that way.
I wouldn't have thought any less of them for actually succeeding.
Totally with it. I agree. But I agree.
I think the fact that not only is it stuck with me, but that something that is ostensibly a piece of entertainment is also able to kind of like inspire these conversations. Yeah, you talk about like, I am on the sister's side, but is he really? Like...
It was a real surprise to me. The show, and I think it's pretty much the cast of the year. They're all great. Yeah,
believable as a family, like genuinely.
Oh, they're
believable.
sisters.
Yeah,
they are sisters. Yeah, even if they don't necessarily look alike. It's just it's a fantastic cast. Yeah, and I probably said everything else I want to say in the review.
It's good.
It's good.
Apart from that one thing, it's really good.
So you're number 7 now? Is that where we're at?
Yes.
Yeah, go on then.
Season 1 of Severance.
Well, my number 6 is season 1 of Severance.
Oh, okay, all right.
So let's do it.
All right, okay, we'll delay it. Right, go.
Me go?
Yeah, because it's your 6, because we skipped my 7 to talk about your 6.
Oh, so I got to talk about it. That's the way it works, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll
jump in.
I'll refer you to episode 60 then.
All right, okay.
That's where we talked. I think. Yeah. Did we talk about it, or did I just talk about it?
I think you brought it up in a very brief. Yeah, it was like 30 seconds of a 2-hour catch up.
Yeah. And
I think what you said was basically, I'm not going to tell you anything about it, but watch it.
Yes.
And really,
I'm tempted to leave it there.
Yeah, really, that's all I could say about it as well. I like a couple of things I have to say about it are negatives, but I do broadly really, really like the show.
Yeah.
I like the design of it. I like the direction that it takes. I like the way that it treats a lot of its characters.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a character in it that I really didn't like because I felt like his role, not just within the group, well, not less so in the group, I see why he was there, but like his role within the show, because he was kind of like a more overtly comedic character.
Yeah.
I felt that was kind of superfluous.
Well, we can say, is this Zach Cherry?
It's Zach Cherry's character, because the show is so idiosyncratic and tightly wound. It sort of doesn't need a comedic character.
Yeah.
Because it's just so, like, it reaches the point where just the idea of a character eating an egg is funny.
Yeah, it's surreal.
It's so, it becomes so surreal.
It's like Kaufman-esque weird funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so to shove an overtly comedic character in the middle there.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're giving the plebs a chance to catch up.
Right.
Oh my, that sounds a bit elitist, I know, but like, it does feel like the show's going, oh, right, we'll stick something in there to kind of...
Not for the plebs necessarily, it's just like, it's considered a necessity, isn't it? You have to have a comedic character.
But when the show kind of pulls him into the narrative happenings, I ended up really liking him.
Yeah.
So...
I think he's the weakest in the ensemble.
Yeah.
But it's a good ensemble.
It is a very good ensemble.
Love Arquette. Love Adam Scott, Toro, all good.
Yeah.
The design of it is brilliant. Ben Stiller directing, of course.
Yeah, and like properly directing as well. Like these are proper scenes that have proper design.
He's become a proper director after
that's
escaping
nice.
Dannemora. Yeah. He's moved into like a new phase of his career.
Yeah.
I get the sense it's what he's always wanted to do, given what he is doing. I mean, it's not like his film career...
You don't fall into Severance.
Well, no, it's not like his film career washed up.
No.
He's chosen to do what he's doing now. This is what... If he could choose to do anything, this is what he's doing. Yeah, good for him. Should we leave it there?
Yeah.
Severance?
I suppose the one thing to say about it is it's a show that thrives on mystery, on unfolding mysteries. And even though all of those mysteries have not yet been answered...
Yeah, you get the sense they will be.
You get the sense they will be, but by the time I'd finished watching Series 1, I wanted to watch it again.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good sign. When you have all the answers, but you still want to go back to it.
It reminds me of Mr. Robot in a way. Not just the kind of off-kilter filming style, but like I trust that the mysteries are going to be answered.
Yes.
Like, oh, they've got it. Not all figured out necessarily, but they do know what everything means.
They explain enough in Series 1 to show you that they're not bluffing it.
They're not,
because there are little things in Series 1, like the guy with the camera, where that comes to a resolution, and I didn't even think that I thought it was just a weird quirk.
Right.
But it gets resolved, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like last Sunday.
They do know what they're doing.
Yes.
I really hope that this show doesn't like fumble going forward, because the first one's pretty good.
Okay. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is season 1 of The Bear.
Okay, we can talk about it now.
We can talk about it now. We have talked about it already, very briefly, in episode 61.
Yes.
I think that was just like a quick 3-minute review.
Okay.
I really like The Bear Series 1. I don't know what to say.
It's really good. I think we probably say everything that we need to say about it. Jeremy Allen White is great in it.
Yeah. Fantastic central performances.
Yeah.
The word colloquial, it keeps like rolling around in my head whenever I think of The Bear. I think like a better way of phrasing that would be saying that like the show, given like how much shit there is on television now at the moment, not just like shit as in bad show, just like things that exist.
Yeah.
You do get instances where a lot of shows kind of like have the same voice. They just kind of gel together in your mind.
Yeah.
Even like good shows. It's like, oh, that feels like blah, blah, blah. Or that looks a lot like blah, blah, blah. The Bear has its own voice.
It has its own vibe, yeah.
It has completely its own vibe. It's doing completely its own thing. It's throwing in like non-diegetic like scenarios, like him on his own little cooking show. It's throwing in like fourth wall breaking moments. It's throwing in like 7-minute monologues. It's throwing in one take episodes. It's throwing all of this stuff in, and it doesn't feel disjointed or out of place.
No.
If anything, it just adds to the pure chaos, which I think that show wants.
Chaos. Yeah.
And that's another great word for it, because it is chaos, but it's controlled chaos.
Yes.
There are instances where the characters are in a kitchen, and there are like 5 things that are happening, and you're jumping between all 5 of them, and you're never lost.
Yeah, and Jeremy Allen White, and the show, but more specifically him, they are being rewarded.
Which is
kind of winning
nice.
everything at the moment. Yeah, which is really nice. Yeah, I mean, I concur.
Yeah, and humble as well, which I appreciate.
Humble, yeah.
It doesn't seem to...
It is a small show.
Yeah.
It's one of those rare shows that before it started, it didn't have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Which is very rare. Shows usually before they begin, even for like months before.
Yeah.
This didn't. This like took for like the second or third week.
Yeah.
And then like someone, we should probably do a...
I should probably say what this great show is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to quantify it. Like, even with an example, I wouldn't know how to quantify it, like, brilliantly. But I think there's, like... You can tell when a show is carrying itself with smugness.
Yes, you can.
And there are plenty of moments where the bear could be smug. After that one-take episode.
Yeah.
After that 7-minute unbroken monologue.
Yeah.
After the several instances where characters are, like, slow character moments followed by intense chaos.
Yeah.
And it never does. It stays humble all the way through, and I really appreciate that.
Well, speaking of which, so I saw Jeremy Allen White's, I think it was the Golden Globe acceptance speech. And it's like, so I've seen him in two things, this and Shameless. And I assumed, he's probably a dickhead in real life. I don't, just sometimes you get that, thing with actors. Not based on anything. Completely unfounded.
Well, it's probably the characters he's played, right?
I suppose so, but yeah, I don't know. And yeah, his Golden Globe speech, he was just like, he just listing the people that he loved. Blah, blah, I love you. Blah, blah, I love you. And I just love acting. I love acting. And he walked off. I was like, that's a good speech.
Yeah.
Just to say I love acting.
Yeah.
Like, no, they never say that, do they? Never say, I really enjoy what I do. So yeah, I'm really happy for the show and him. And it's coming back, so yeah. TBC.
This is a good thing.
This is a good thing. My number 5 is Nope.
We can talk about that. If we were doing a top 11...
It'd be 11, would it?
It would be number 11. So it just missed out.
Well, we did a proper review of Nope in episode 62.
We did.
Didn't we?
Yeah.
What else can I say about it? Jordan Peele's best film. We're the only two people in the world that think that. Unique, again, idiosyncratic, Spielbergian, great ideas, very well directed, good cinematography, decent performances. Keke Palmer starts out annoying but becomes really good.
It's almost a film that you can't sell, isn't it? I'm not just talking about us now in this moment. I'm just talking about like when he was pitching that idea. It feels like the type of film. It feels like an Inception almost, where it's the type of film that a filmmaker can only make once they've already proven themselves a success.
Well, it's very original.
Very original.
Different ideas. It's got a chimp. I like the chimp.
Chimps are good. Pinocchio had a chimp though, and that didn't help it too much.
This was a quote-unquote real chimp.
Yeah.
And it should have been called Don't Look Up.
Yes, it should have.
I mean, we've done the review. Do you know what I mean? I don't really want to like keep repeating.
Okay. And that review is in episode...
62.
62. Go and have a listen.
So what's your number 5?
My number 5 is 13 Lives.
It's good, that.
Tis.
Yes.
Tis. I think the downside of... Well, certainly the downside of doing 5-hour episodes. Yeah, this was briefly brought up in episode 61, I should say, because I think you had seen this.
Yeah.
Oh, no, in fairness, this wasn't the 5-hour episode. This is the one we did after, which was like only like 3.5 or something, or whatever it was. Okay. But yeah, like little moments where like you're like, oh, I've seen this thing. It was rather good. Blah, 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 blah. And you kind of let that review pass, and then 10 other reviews follow it.
Yes.
And so stuff that you've recommended and you've told me is good just ends up getting kind of lost in the mix. But I really want to emphasize just how good 13 Lives is. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it might be like my 11th.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think like it could be bias on my part. I've coined the word crisis thriller. I've used it already in this episode.
Don't talk like that, you wank.
It's like the one thing that I have that's mine on this podcast. Okay. Just like films that it's not about like the people in the film aren't people, they're professionals, and the villain is the situation that they have to overcome. Yeah,
there's basically zero character.
Yeah,
to them. Yeah,
but somehow that doesn't ruin it.
No, and I think I said in the review back when like Farrell and Mortensen are unrecognizable. Basically,
absolutely. I watched it with my mother, and she figured out it was Farrell.
Yeah.
Because like it still looks like Farrell.
Oh, if you know actors, you know who they are. But
it sounds nothing like him.
No, they're just.
But it looks like Colin Farrell.
Blokes, that's it.
Yeah,
like doing their thing.
But Viggo Mortensen, she didn't clock that at all.
Yeah, he does a spot on.
Yeah,
you would think, he's a British bloke.
Yeah. So it's just a guy. Oh my god, it's him.
Yeah.
No,
it's Aragorn. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it really is great. It's it's one of the many films, because I think there are multiple films about the football team, the Thai football team that were trapped in the Thai caves. Yeah. I think it follows the events fairly faithfully.
Well, I think that's part of why it's so surprising is Ron Howard has become like an exciting director. Like when he has a film out, you go, Like, he's directed a lot of great films.
Yeah.
But by now, you know, with the Robert Langdon trilogy under his belt, the Da Vinci Code and, you know, all that tat, a Ron Howard film about the Thai cave, it's going to be a by-the-book, middle of the road, and then it ends up being like a Paul Greengrass style. Yeah. You know, it was, it really was surprising.
Yeah, and it does a good job of, like, it doesn't feel cheap.
No,
like,
not at all.
Like, the amount of water work that they do in this film, and they're actually filming in caves.
You take it for granted.
You really do.
You're so
like, I can't even begin to fathom, like, how they went about filming this.
That's the thing, you're so in the reality of it.
Yeah.
You just think, and they are so professional.
Yeah.
That kind of infests, and you just look at it and you just think, well, I'm just watching the thing happening.
Yeah.
You don't think about sets and all the rest of it.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, it might be the uncelebrated film of the year.
I would say so.
Nowhere. Nothing.
Yeah, not a single thing. At the very least, he should have had some directorial recognition. Yeah. And I know there are a lot of strong candidates this year.
Yeah.
A lot of strong personalities have dominated the awards. Yes. But just as like a straightforward workhorse, this is a film that is here, and it does the thing. It's like School of Rock, where it like...
Yeah.
I couldn't say, like, apart from Jack Black's performance, I couldn't point out one thing as being, like, exceptional, but it works together so magnificently.
Yeah, you're not looking at the tics and tricks.
Yeah.
The whole thing's just an experience.
It just clicks together and it works. Even when they're using... Because they use, like, on-screen text and maps to show you not only the passage of time, but also, like, the route that they have to take through the caves, and it's explaining to you how long the dives are taking... And you're never, like, lost. You understand the whole operation. We talked
earlier about United 93 and the problem with She Said, where you're taking a story and, like, there's that fear of, if I impose too much artifice on it, I'll detract from... And you sense a similar impulse with 13 Lives, which is, I'm not going to contrive too much drama.
Yeah.
But it so works. And, like, the moment toward the end of the film where the guy fucks up a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's, like, crying. They're like, mate, it's all right. We're all good.
Yeah.
You go like, fair play.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? But there's no, like, contrived, you let us down, man. There's none of that.
No, it ends up being like a proper feel-good film.
It really does,
it's just people coming
working together to do a thing,
And they did the thing.
Yeah.
The professionalism runs all the way through. The film casts no villain. Even when there are people that are kind of getting in the way of other people carrying out the operation, they're never cast as villains.
No.
There's no contrived drama. There's no... Michael Bay, like we gotta throw.
No, it is. It's a situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Here is the film.
Yeah.
Watch it. Yeah. It's great, isn't it?
It's very good.
Yeah.
It's very good. Right. My number 4 is Boiling Point.
Yay! We got here.
I can't remember. Did we both review it?
It was a joint review. Yeah. It was our first big review of 2022.
Yes. Okay.
We did Being the Ricardos on the same episode, but that was a 2021 film. So this was the first big thing of 2022.
Okay. And that was episode 57.
Yes.
If you want the full review. I can't remember what we said.
But I'm sure we were positive about it, because I'm positive about it now.
Exceptionally directed. Cinematography, obviously.
Yeah.
Stephen Graham is fantastic, as he always is.
Yeah.
The entire cast is really great. It's a genuine one take. I have a friend whose boyfriend is friends with the writer. So that's like a connection.
I automatically hate him now.
I know.
What a douche.
Yeah. It's Phil Barantini. I don't want to name him because I don't want to give him like the time. Do you know what I mean? It's the time of the day. Philip Barantini, because like fuck him. And this other guy, he's friends with the other guy.
Right, okay. At least it's the other guy. It's not Phil Barantini.
Guy. Yeah. But then now they've got it's a BBC TV series now, isn't it? They're doing.
Yes. Are they keeping the one take thing?
I don't think so. But Graham is back.
Okay.
So he didn't die.
Because I will say that I don't know what this film is without the one take.
No, that's a fair point, but I don't know. I mean, it's impossible to judge, isn't it?
Yeah. That is at present.
Yeah.
That is the film's identity.
It so dominates the film. Yeah. You're right. But
have you seen this film, Boiling Point? What is it? It's a one-take film set in a kitchen. That's what you tell people.
Yes.
But what I like about it is it's not just some like wanky exercise in filmmaking.
No,
it's not a film that was created just so they could.
Yeah.
It is a genuine like exercise in rising tension.
But it's part of the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not... Yeah,
it's like it's like the film is on the boil and it's boiling over and we all just have to watch as it boils over.
And it just ends with this aneurysm, you know?
Yeah.
Just boom, it explodes. Yeah. It's fantastic, begrudgingly fantastic, because now I know someone who knows
it's real now, isn't it?
Connected with it, and it's like, oh,
it's not just the thing.
It's like a person that made it now.
Yeah, it's not just the thing that came from the ether.
I know
shit, effort and time and whatnot went into it.
And we didn't do it.
Yes, so and that's the worst thing about
fuck
it. Yeah.
Them. But yes, it is very good.
Yes. I think that like I fear that it could be easily written off as a gimmick film.
Right.
Because you sell it on the fact that it's a one take. And also it's called Boiling Point, which sounds like one of those crappy
like it's titles. A B movie title.
Yeah. But it ascends above that.
Oh, definitely.
It's a genuinely good film in its own right.
Well, Boiling Point, it sounds like a B movie thriller set in a kitchen.
Yeah.
But it's the most grounded, naturalistic. Yeah. Yeah. It's great. It's brilliant. For the longest time, it was best film of the year. But...
Ah, yes.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 is season 1 of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
It's season 1.
Season 1, okay.
Yes. Yeah, technically. Yeah. For TV, yes.
Yes.
Also,
well, more so the fact that like I didn't know if they were making any more.
Oh, I see. Yeah, not confirmed yet.
Okay.
Not confirmed, but I think
potentially Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Potentially season 1 of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Yes. Yeah. Probably be like 12th. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Very good.
This is the thing that I've probably revisited the most this year.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's that high for you.
Yeah. And it's because of that. It's because it's in my brain now.
Right.
And it just refuses to leave. Because it's not just full episodes. It's isolated clips on YouTube. It's compilations on YouTube. It's something that I've like properly revisited. And I think I also benefit from... I mean, I found it through you, so it's not something I could share with you.
Right.
But I benefit from sharing an office with people who have a very similar sense of humour and temperament. And so now that they've discovered it, it's like I'm refinding the show all over again.
I haven't gone back to it at all, see? So you're saying I should?
I think so, yeah. Okay. Because it's like... Yeah, when you first told me about it, I think I said in the review, which was in episode 62.
Okay.
I remember like dreading having to watch it. Because like, God, those shorts... represent
dreadful.
They're dreadful. They represent everything that like properly gets to me about horror.
Right.
To sit through a show of that, I don't know if I can do it. But they've added so much to it. They've added character to the characters. They've added humor. They've added genuinely like sharp writing.
Yeah.
Without distilling or losing the identity of the thing that was there beforehand. I would say I don't know if like someone who like grew up with the shorts would agree with me, but I would say this is the better version of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
I don't agree with that.
I know that you are really married to the idea of the shorts just being these like anomalies that just show up.
Yeah, we talked. I won't rehash the whole thing, but in the review I spoke about the reservations I had about the fact that it was like it'd now been neatly formatted and packaged into a 22-minute Channel 4 episode thing.
Yes,
with a theme tune and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's disappointing.
Yeah.
But I think we gained too much for that to...
No, that's fair. But I do like the 10-minute... I think it works better experientially. It's like, it's not that long. You don't have to... I'm not putting the show down. I think it is really good. But I do prefer the original clips, you know?
Yeah. But no, this is another thing as well where you just kind of... You accept what you're watching.
Yeah.
But just take a moment to think about the craft that must have gone into making this.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Even with the shorts, I used to think that.
Yeah.
Like, God, but like money went into this.
I know, but like with the shorts, I mean, enough time has now passed that like the older ones in particular, you can see the rough edges around there. I don't know if this show's ever going to age. I know that's a bold statement.
Yeah, no. No, but it feels like a thing. It's like a Disney film.
It's a fully refined craft at this point.
Yeah.
And anything that could be like maybe isolated as like, oh, that's a little, that's a bit of a mistake, or that's a bit of a
could be written off.
Yeah, that just adds to the
character of the show. Yeah,
character of it.
Yeah.
No, it's like I'm really really happy with it. There are weaker episodes within it, and I think that if you're binging it, then it loses its impact. But if you just take those episodes in isolation and you pace yourself, it's an experience like no other.
Yeah, that was another shame. I feel like if it was going to be on TV, it should have been on weekly.
Yeah.
And like I said, something for you to discover. Like, what is this weird thing on Friday night at 10
Yeah,
o'clock?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's great.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 3 is Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery.
Snap.
Yes. Don't need to do that, do we? We refer you
we refer you to the review moments ago.
My number 2 is season 6 of Better Call Saul.
Oh, Sam.
This fucks it up for you a bit, doesn't it?
Well, I think I know what's happened here.
Yes.
We can't talk about it
ones
yet.
and twos.
I was going to say, I can't talk about it yet.
Yeah.
My number 2 is The Banshees of Inisherin.
Yes. We can't talk about that yet.
It's your number 1.
It's my number 1. So we'll do that.
Right, okay.
Honestly, I love the film.
Yeah.
I've talked about it so much with so many people. I'm going to bore myself if I talk about it again. Well, the review is in episode 64.
Yes.
That absolutely said everything I think I have to say about it.
Yes. You were very thorough. It was clear that the film had, it was in you, you know?
Yeah.
It invaded you.
It stays in you. It's one of those films, I've seen it, I think, 3 times. And I know every beat, every image, every light. It's all of it's going to stay with me. As I said, one of those films where the thing you could talk about the most is what it meant.
Yeah.
And that's such a rare treat. Colin Farrell is astounding. He should win the Oscar. I don't think he will at this point. He was the front runner for a long time, but not anymore.
Yeah.
It should win Best Film. It won't. It should win Best Screenplay. That's also dubious. Anyway, it's a little masterpiece. It's Mark McDonagh's best film. It's funny. It's heartbreaking. It has something to say. It's cryptic. If you don't like it, you're a fucking idiot.
Just throwing that out there at the end. It feels like whenever you try to predict a film's legacy, it always feels like tempting fate. Because how the hell could you possibly know? I feel as confident as I think I'm ever going to feel in saying that I think this is a film that's going to last forever.
I think so. And as far as the decade goes so far, were it not for Parasite, that once in a generation film, this would be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this and Parasite will become the, Casablanca of this era of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Right now, we're still in a phase where you have the classics, which I guess is 60s backwards or 70s backwards.
Well, classics is a very large...
Yeah.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, you have classic cinema, old films.
Oh, classic Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, 40s, 50s.
All the good classic films
yes.
that have, that we've stuck with.
Yes.
Then you have kind of the revival, modern cinema. And I guess enough time has passed that we could sort of start a third category, but I don't really know if we have.
Well, I mean, this is a tangent, obviously, but I think that we live in an age now, the postmodern age, where we're past that. There are films that will become classics, but not in the same way.
No.
There's too much stuff.
Yeah.
Were this an earlier generation, I would concur that they would be top 100 movies of all time.
Yeah.
Studied, all that kind of thing. Parasite, obviously, just across the board, every technical aspect. Banshees of Inisherin just as a concept and the writing and just what the film is, you know.
I do feel like this has as good a chance as any other film out there. One of the best chances of being seen by our grandchildren.
Yeah.
The same way that we see...
Oh, they'll be seeing it.
Yeah. Well, to them, it's the same way that we look back on, Taxi Driver or any of, Sunset Boulevard.
Well, we said, didn't we? I mean, this film has done really well critically and awards and all that.
That's the thing. It's the fact that it seems to have succeeded everywhere.
Yeah.
It's a critical darling, which I don't think there was any doubt about that.
No.
But it also seems to have done really well with just audiences. And it was doing the, for lack of a better term, the pop culture round.
The talk show circuit.
It was on all the talk show circuits, the things that just normal people watch.
Yes.
And it's a film that I would
Do I apologise for your elitism?
No, I know I've done it again.
Yeah.
But is it fair to say that The Banshees of Inisherin feels like one of those types of films that you would...
Yeah, you don't
qualify
go Graham Norton and promote it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you were just if you met a person in a pub and they were like, oh, what film should I watch?
Well, the beauty of...
You would at least qualify Banshees of Inisherin.
I think people would have seen the film. It would have done okay. It wouldn't have been a bomb or anything. The beauty of a film like this is that Colin Farrell is the lead, and he does have star power, and the kind of person that will be invited onto interview shows. So he gets to promote films that wouldn't otherwise have a wide reach. Yeah, we said, didn't we? It feels like a film. How did it take this long for it to exist?
Yeah.
It's archetypal. It's like a parable. It's biblical. It's fantastic. But yeah, like I was going to say, it's done very well critically and with the awards. I think we probably like it more than most they do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I maintain that. Because we had a friend, for instance, who watched it and kind of said, yeah, it was funny. You know, it was good. And I just kind of think, really?
That's all you took from it? Yeah.
Is that it? I got a lot out of it. Really a lot.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is I saw it at a certain part of my life, but you had the same response basically, so for different reasons.
Like, that film gave me a new phobia.
Me saying fuck off, I don't want to talk to you.
Sure, you. Yeah, all right. I was just
who else, George?
No, I know. I didn't want to say it.
Okay. But too vulnerable, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the thought of you wake up one day and your best friend that you've shared a life with just says, fuck off, I don't want to speak to you anymore. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
They would sooner mutilate themselves than speak to you. That's fucking terrifying. And it's not something I'd even considered, like, before that. Like, that film, it really, it hit for me. It really did.
Well,
I really hope, like I said, I think it will last for generations and generations. I really hope it does.
Yeah, I don't know how well it will go on to do, but it's done rather well with awards. Farrell's swept the boards, generally speaking.
Yeah.
The Globes, I know it's kind of a trashy ceremony, but it won film, actor, screenplay. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
I have no reason to be. I'm not connected in any way, but do you know what I mean? Like, I am proud of it.
Yeah.
And the reason... I've kind of half alluded to it. I've been a bit vague about it. But I think one of the reasons that it hit so much is because I'd recently gone through a kind of breakup of my own. That's why part I was like, oh yeah, it really resonated.
Yeah.
And the film is what you want it to be at the same time. So, yes, that was my number one thing of the year.
Mine was Better Call Saul Series 6.
It's good.
I am furious. I am not in the least bit pleased.
Well, you should put Banshees first.
No, what I should have done, and what I genuinely considered doing, was starting the top 10 by saying, hey, Better Call Saul is not in this list.
But it's the best
It's objectively the best thing of the year, but it is not in my list, because what a boring number one of the year.
Well, how obvious.
How obvious.
Yeah.
And also, for me, it doesn't represent 2022 in the slightest.
No.
Everything else in this list does.
Yeah, you're not going to think of 2022 when you think about it.
No, when I think back on 2022, I'm going to think of the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yes.
I'm going to think of Glass Onion and The Bear and Severance and everything that we've discussed in this list so far. I'm not going to think of Better Call Saul. Because not only did Better Call Saul start in 2015, but that in and of itself is a continuation of something that started in 2008.
Yeah.
But there's nothing...
There's nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with it. There is nothing on television or on the big screen, or maybe in any other form of media at the moment that is just as perfect as Better Call Saul. It is fucking faultless.
Yeah. I think I said to you...
And it would be dishonest to put it anywhere other than number one.
Well, this is...
For me. I know that you put Banshees there, and I understand why, but I just can't.
My reasoning would be, I don't disagree with you. If we were to break down each constituent element, Better Call Saul triumphs over everything.
Yeah.
The only reason it's not number one, as perfect as it is, and not just perfect, in a way, saying that it's perfect undermines it, because it's almost like you're clapping. It's I admire that.
Yeah.
It's not just that. It is also entertaining.
Yeah.
And, shocking. The death of Howard Hamlin is one of the all-time great TV moments.
Spoilers.
It's fucking... Lalo is one of the all-time great TV villains.
A character that came in at the tail end of the penultimate season of a spin-off show.
Yeah.
And he is genuinely one of the
best characters
most iconic Breaking Bad characters, let alone Better Call Saul characters. Yeah.
But yes, also technically music, editing, cinematography, everything's perfect.
I said to you in the review, this is one of those rare examples. I couldn't even think of another one off the top of my head where every single craft
Yeah.
is at the top of its game.
Yes, it is unseen.
Yeah.
Really. I can't think of anything else like that.
It's some of the best sound work on television, some of the best cinematography on television, editing, acting, directing, writing, everything.
Nothing on TV. Film, yes, I can think of some examples.
Okay.
Like Fincher's films.
Yeah, okay.
But televisually, yes, it has no peers in that respect. The only reason it's not number one is because it was inevitable.
Yeah.
Not the way that the story pans out, but that it would be amazing. Whereas The Banshees of Inisherin was all those things and a surprise.
Yeah.
And so it was like a magical experience seeing that film.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas Better Call Saul's like, that was as perfect as I could have hoped it would be.
Yeah.
I am fully satisfied. But yeah, I can't quibble. I can see why you put it number one. Yeah, they're kind of interchangeable, really, those two. But it is great. And I'm so happy because I loved that show when it started. And then, for whatever reason, it just like, it was still on. It hadn't got any worse.
I dropped off in the middle there.
Yeah, you stopped watching it.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I think it just... I much preferred watching it in a batch.
It definitely benefits from binging it.
Yeah, 100%. Which is such a surprise. You'd think that would be so against...
Well, you pick up on all the little details, and it's a show of details.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just so happy that by the end, the passion had been reignited, and I kind of rediscovered it, and like, oh shit, this is the final season of Better Call Saul. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of remembered that I was excited. But no, it's... perfect is the only word you can use for it, really. Yeah.
So goddamn you, Better Call Saul.
Yeah, fuck you, I'll never do anything
for making my list and this podcast end boringly and obviously.
Do something spontaneous. Do a fart or something. Do a blow off into the mic. There you go.
Well, do we want to recap before we close out, or is that just like...
Oh, I've deleted my list.
Okay. You remember your top 10 shit of the year,
I can't remember my top 10.
What?
I'm not going to remember.
Okay.
I'm not going to remember. You read off your list, and I'll add the stuff that wasn't there. That's not on yours.
What? No, don't be like that.
What do you mean?
I don't know what's happening. This whole thing is falling
my list
apart.
is gone. So just read your list.
Right.
So these are our big recommendations from 2022.
Okay, so here are the 13 things that Funfiltered...
The 13 best things
of last year.
Yes.
As per recommended by the Funfiltered podcast.
Yes.
Bad Sisters Season 1, Puss in Boots The Last Wish, Boiling Point, Severance Series 1, The Bear Series 1, 13 Lives, Don't Hug Me I'm Scared, Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, The Banshees of Inisherin, Better Call Saul Season 6,
Evil Season 3, Nope, and Mass.
Go watch them.
Particular order. Go watch them. They're all good.
Yeah.
They're all fucking good. Right, that's it.
Yeah. It was a good year, actually.
It was a very good year. Yeah, I thought I'd become jaded. We say all the time, like, oh, there's not many great films anymore. Yeah. And even though DVD quality films, for me, there aren't that many. Yeah, it was a solid year. For film, and TV's on a roll right now as well.
Yeah, well, it's the first year that I committed to, like, watching TV.
Yeah.
And, like, in both lists, there were things that I ended up having to kick out of my top 10.
Yeah.
That I was genuinely disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, things that I would still recommend to
Yeah, I
people.
wanted 13 Lives in there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Nope and The Outfit, and just, like, films that was like, oh, I really thought I was going to make it.
Yeah.
It sounds so stupid when you're talking about your own list, but it makes sense, I promise.
We canonise them, don't we? We elevate them. Okay.
That's
Hello again.
Hello again.
And bye.
Bye.